What's up, everybody?
Well, how's it going?
Welcome to that Friday night bee chat
I know, Friday night.
for the No Life Beekeepers.
Lee must have got some sleep last night.
Yeah, finally. Hey, did you notice what I did just a minute ago after I hit the countdown?
No,
It took me about 6 or 8 seconds to realize I didn't hit the go live button either again.
Oh, really? Well, did you got it at the last second? I was looking at my other screen and I saw a Tractor Supply commercial came up, and then I skipped it, and it was like we were live. Well, good evening, everybody. So, what'd you do today? We'll let you talk first.
Yeah, I went through all my bee yards, checking all the new nukes, see how they doing, and I think next week they'll be ready to go ahead and put supers on. They drawing out comb on the new frames. Got a bunch of cat brood that have done hatched out, and population's growing good.
Well, I'm about a week or two ahead of you on the nuke installation, right?
Yeah.
No, you put them in when? This past Saturday?
Past Sunday.
Past Sunday. So yeah, I'm about 2 weeks ahead of you on that, on the nukes that I got. And we had a discussion earlier today through text. I was like, man, I can't get this colony's packed down in the brood box, but they won't come up onto the foundation in the super. And Lee says, well, and actually I said it too. I was thinking about 1-to-1, spraying 1-to-1 on it, but I couldn't find my spray bottle. But I did have my old trusty 5-gallon pail of 1-to-1 that I had made the other day.
They went swimming?
No, I took the plastic frames out, made sure any bees that were on it were shook off, and I just dipped it in one side, flipped it around, dipped it in the other side, shook it off real good, and put it right into the colony. And they looked like they enjoyed that little bit of cool, refreshing sugar water I put on there.
Oh, I bet.
I sold 5 queens today to one lady that showed up, so that was pretty good. I've got another lady supposed to be coming to get 2 either tomorrow or Sunday. I said, well, if I got them, then you can get them. So, which I still got 21, I think. 21 of them. And showed her how I was banking them. So, if she doesn't get to put them all in right away, she can bank a couple of them, make a split, and go with that one. Hey, let me see, man. We got a pretty good crowd tonight. We got James from Michigan. We got the Texas Beekeeper, Tritone.
Ain't seen Tritone lately.
Well, hey, Tritone.
We got Iowa Layons up there.
We got Iowa Layons. If you notice on our chats at the top, the StreamYard link is pinned. So we don't have to share it 5 times. You just go to the top and click on it if you want to come in. More than happy to have you come in. Actually, welcome it. We want you to come into it. So I started filming the video today. I thought it was going to be easy peasy. Just film it, bottle up some honey, and be good to go. Hey, Earl. And, it didn't work that way. Oh, Tritone said he got his hive tool.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, Tritone?
And so I unboxed the bottling tank, my unbottling tank, and I put the pneumatic valve on the front and realized a few things that they didn't include was they didn't send 2 nuts to bolt the valve to the tank. So I had to take the wing net off and then get another nut to put on it. And other than that, that was fine. And then I had to go to the hardware store and buy a different air valve kit or air fitting because the air fitting they sent was 1/2 inch and my air compressor was using 1/4 inch. So I had to repair that, but turned the air compressor on, got pressure to it, and it was working. Then turned it back off. Once I could see the little valve opening up, then I loaded it down with some honey. Turns out half the honey was solid as a brick. so I had to scoop it out.
Crystallized, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty crystallized. So I got half of it in there, and then half of it I had to scoop out. So now I get to test the decrystallization features on the new bottling tank. So
test it all out in one weekend, huh?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer than I intended for that video. And of course, my new the solar wax melter showed up today, and it's the warmest day and more chance to rain today than we've had in 2 weeks, right? So
no sun for the solar melter.
No, but I've been going through there scraping all the extra wax, and I've got an old piece of comb I'm going to cut out and put on there. And then I think I'm going to take the little bars that I already have that I use for my little crock pot. I think I'm going to go ahead and set them in there and let them melt back through and try to get them cleaner, you know.
There you go.
So we'll see. It'll at least make good in YouTube fodder.
Yeah, I finally got my camera out when I went to the new yard today. Done a little video and just kind of inspecting the new nukes, see how they're doing. Putting my peppermints in.
Nude nukes.
Yeah. Well, the ones that I got last night.
Naked bees?
Yeah, nude.
The nude nukes.
Yeah, so hopefully I get that video edited the next day.
Man, look at the side chat. 3 boys bees, be wise. Hey guys. Man, we got quite a crew coming in tonight. 24 right now. Hey guys, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Please feel free, Earl, anybody, be wise, anybody that wants to come in, go ahead and click that link and join us. Hey Kim.
Jim.
Man, look at this. Well, we're not worthy. There's more no-life beekeepers than just us.
Yeah, you seen what I put in the description for tonight, huh?
Yeah, I saw that. No-life beekeeping chat tonight.
Yeah. Beekeepers talking beekeepers about beekeeping.
Hey, you know, I was surprised for that not being a water-jacketed tank. Did you see how thick the walls were on that thing when I sent you that picture?
Well, I kind of glanced at it earlier. In fact, I can pull that up on this new computer now, the way it's supposed to work.
Oh, yeah, he was bragging to me, like all subtle brag, right? He's like, hey, how long does it take you to render a video? Well, I downloaded one of my old videos that took a long time, and it took me like a minute.
Yeah, on the laptop, it took me 52 minutes to render a video out. On this one, it took 50 seconds. And here is the picture that you sent me.
All right. Yeah, look how thick the walls are on it. Yeah, in my junky room. It was I've got the compressor. Now the table that I have it on is a little bit too tall for the airlines that came with it. And that's something else I got to work out, because I don't know if it's a European thing, but all the hoses for the airlines come off to the left, and they're not very long. So it's like right there, but I'm right-handed. So I do everything with my right foot. I don't know if I'd be good doing it. I'm going to have to get used to doing it left-footed. And that's the life, not no life. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, you know, we got at least 22 no-life beekeepers in here right now. Hey, man. Good to see you. Man, it's good. Good topics here, guys. Good topics. We need you guys to come in.
Anybody got a good answer for this?
I saw somebody putting GPSs in their frames.
I've seen them use the little Apple AirTags.
And drop them in there. So yeah, I was literally taking frames and dunking them in a bucket of 1-to-1, and then flipping it over and doing the other half, like shaking the excess off, and then hanging it in the colony.
Yeah, they ought to jump right on that.
Oh, hey James, where'd you get those from, buddy? Better Be? Free shipping from Better Be?
Dang, they must have finally got smart and figured something out.
Classic bottles. So the question is, James, I mean, that's still $1.10 a bottle, right?
Yeah.
But it might be glass. It might be glass. So are they glass or squeeze bottle? What are they?
Now my 1 pound glass bottles, they were running $8.95 for a case of 12, and they've done gone up to I think $10.95 now. So they went up $2 a case at Better Be.
We got to
Super
pull it
Gorilla
up.
got a question for you there.
Yeah, so the compressor is for the valve. Now I gotta find it. Filtering and bottling equipment. I got too much going. I'm actually mining crypto on this computer, streaming live. There we go. Let me view the larger. And now I gotta go.
That was the squeeze bottles he got.
Let me see. The squeeze bottles?
Yep.
The same squeeze bottles we pay 33 cents for?
Is it the
one?
one?
Well,
James,
he got the lid too.
Pound? Hey James, do they look like that?
Let me see. All right, so let me see. Share. Now I got to come back to StreamYard and add it in. So this is the bottling valve that I've got for my bottling tank. So you hook your air compressor to this centerpiece here, the air valve, and so it's spring loaded, right? And the spring keeps it closed. When you hit the air pedal from your compressor, it opens the valve up and lets the honey out. So that's the valve that I bought to go with my unbottling tank. So that's the
Yeah, it looks like James said it's the same squeeze bottles we got.
So James, if you order them from Gamber Container, you get 321 bottles for $97. Here, I'll drop the link here for the future. Now you have to buy the lid separate, so it is a little bit more, but you get for just more than what you just paid. It was like you get 3 times the bottles.
Yeah, I'm about to pull up Gamber now, or on my accounting software. I didn't break it down. I just put packaging in for 321 bottles and 1,700 caps. It was $225 and 96 cents total, plus shipping.
Right. Yeah, the shipping was a little bit steep but it
was basically next day shipping too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they get to you pretty quick. I think it's like 2-day shipping or whatever.
Yeah.
Because mine didn't come on Saturday. Mine actually ended up coming on Monday. So it was pretty fast.
I don't think it comes UPS, and I don't think UPS delivers on weekends anymore.
Hey, Scott, look at that. We got Blythewood Bee Company in the chat.
Hey, there you go.
Good to see you. Hoping I need to get with you because I want to see if we can get Swarm Commander up to the Hive Life Conference in January. And I know you're a busy guy and you got some stuff going on. And I want to get with you to try to see if I could go up there and run a Swarm Commander booth for you and help you out. And we'll figure it out. And I always try to send people to you. I was in your store today, matter of fact.
I got 2 bottles here. The spray and the gel.
And I've given away. Hey, man, it depends on your location, but if it's 16 fluid ounces is actually 1.5 pounds, I pretty much go $10 per pound. Mm-hmm. So if it's a pound, if it's 50 or a pound and a half would be $15.
Yeah, you'll just have to find out if that's a 16-ounce bottle fluid ounce or if that's 16-ounce net weight of honey.
And yeah, so a 1 pound jar is actually less than. Hey, I will. I've been trying to get Abby to get with you, but I know she's busy and you're busy. And definitely would like to. Oh, so I've been trying to help you out too. I gave Abby this information. I'll give you this information too, Scott, because this would be helpful for you. I'll send this in the chat. So buying from these people, these are the people that Man Lake and everybody buy their containers from. 321 1 pound squeeze bottles is $97. And they come in bulk. And they have all different kinds: glass, plastic, big plastic, little plastic, all kinds of different ones.
1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound containers.
Hey, that's good. He did $100 in 4 hours at his first. Oh no! You got a squeeze bottle handy? So those Skeps right there, the 1 pound Skep squeeze bottles, are 321 bottles for $97. So it's like 30 something cent a piece. And then you buy the caps. A case of caps is 1,700 caps, but it'll fit multiple. It'll fit the bears. It'll fit those jars. It'll fit
1 pound, 2 pound, and 3 pound containers, all with the same lid.
Yeah, so you can buy a case of those lids for the squeeze bottles that are, I don't know, it was 100 and something bucks, I think, for 1,700.
I can't remember what it was.
But here, I can show them. I'll share my screen. They need to make this a little bit more user-friendly for screen sharing. All right. So this is Gamber Containers website. I can actually, let me go back. Let me just go to their site. So they have a full honey line.
Eamon said that was the 1 pound weight of honey. He was asking.
I didn't even add it to the stream. All right, so they have a whole honey line of bottles. Where's it at? There it is. I gotta find it so I can scroll. They got the bears, all different size bears.
The caps, the case of 1,700 is $128.06.
So wait a minute, 1,700 is $128?
Yeah.
$128.06 divided by 1,700. That's 7.5 cents a lid. So 40 cents is what you're paying for a lid and a squeeze bottle for a 1 pound, not including shipping. I mean, the shipping is going to be extra, obviously, but
once you buy that pack of lids for your next 5 orders, all you have to do is buy the bottle itself. You'll have enough lids.
Right. So they got bears. They got the skep. They got glass if you like the glass. Upside down, wide mouth jars, specialty jars, Muth jars. Now
I got some of the 4-ounce smooth that I bought from Better Bee, and what I do every year, whenever I collect honey or pull all my honey off the hives, I put some of my honey in one of those smooth jars, and I save that. That way, I have one jar for every year that I've done. And it
now
put a label on the bottom what year it come from.
I mean, that's a nice jar. The only thing, they don't put their prices on there, so you got to call to get the price quote. But we're just going by telling you what we actually paid for ours. So it could have changed in the month or so that we ordered it.
Yeah.
Even these big jugs, even the 3 and 5 pound jugs, still use the same lid that we're using for our 1 pounders. So you don't have to buy a different lid. You can use the same lid on multiple containers.
Yeah, it's 38 millimeter silver gorilla.
And they have color. You can pick the color that you want to use. So it's not, they come in a big bulk box and they're all put in a bag. So it's not like they're all nice in a box, like smaller boxes, but it is pretty nice. I mean, that's the lid box. So that's 1,700 caps in that box right there. So it's pretty cost effective when you're getting them for 40 cents. No, they're actually made in Pennsylvania. The company is actually in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Lancaster.
And I mean, they're let me see. Gamber container, 2220 Dutch Gold Drive, Lancaster, PA. Hey, Scott, they got a place for distributors here on the bottom. So they have distributors too. So Date and see, look at Blue Sky Bee Supply, Better Bee. So when you're buying Better Bee's jars, you're buying them the jars that are coming from this place that have been marked up. Blue Sky, Dadent.
Hey there, Sarah.
Harvey's, Kelly Beekeeping Company, Man Lake. So when you're buying these jars, you're buying them from, you're getting them from these guys. Even Smitty Bee Honey, aren't they a big Smitty Bee? Aren't they the big honey bottlers up there? They're getting their jars from them as well. So it's let me see, about us.
Making dreams. As far as the shipping from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, all the way to South Louisiana, where I'm at, I believe it was a little over $100.
Right.
$117 shipping.
And mine was just under $100.
Yeah. But the thing was, they shipped it out Thursday. It arrived at my house Friday. So, I mean, it's fast shipping. But you may be able to ask them if they have other shipping options as far as 3 to 5 day. I don't know. I know they don't do FedEx. They said they will not use FedEx.
Well, FedEx came and delivered my solar wax melter, but they just dropped it out back by my honey house, and they didn't even know that was my honey house. They just went around. They had to go through the bees to get around to the outside and then dropped it there instead of the front porch. So, yeah, they were pretty fast.
Yeah, Lane, I paid for it Wednesday evening right at the close of business. They shipped it out Thursday, and I got it Friday.
Hey, Johnny. The other thing, Scott, if you can get on with licensed equipment, I talked to Abby. I bought, Lord have mercy, 38, about $6,000 in extraction equipment, right? By the time you got the tank and the valve and the uncapping tank and the steam uncapper and the extractor was about $6,000, right? Something like that. And they're the only place. Better Bee's the only place that carries it, and they got the whole market. But shipping on that stuff was outrageous. So if you were more, oh really, doggone it, we need to get them.
Hell, everybody in the chat here may have to start emailing Lyson and tell them, look, we want other options besides just one distributor.
Well, I mean, the problem is, if I could, for me personally, and you too, if you were ordering Lyson from, let's say, Blythewood Bee Company has it, the shipping would be less, right? I paid $1,000 for shipping between everything that I bought. So, I mean, if we could, right? Yeah, but I mean, I understand. I used to have a stereo shop, and we used to have locations, right, for distributorship. But, and I understand somewhat of a protection. But one spot in the whole United States doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all.
To me, it would just benefit Lyson to have more distributors because, I mean, they would have more sales versus just one person. Because like you say, you're not too far from Blythewood. Instead of paying shipping, you could just go pick it up.
Right.
They have a place here in Baton Rouge. That's 20, 30 minutes from me. I could go pick it up instead of having to pay $300 shipping on stuff.
Yeah, it's you know, they're in New York. Why, if I could go pick it up from Blythewood Bee Company, even if the product ended up costing me a little bit more, I would have still saved a lot of money getting it from Better Bee and having to pay $1,000 in shipping to get it here. So, you know, definitely has benefits for them to kind of spread out. I mean, I don't think Poland may not understand the size of the United States. You know, they may not understand it. Hey, JP the Bee Man was on here. We had Yappy on here, Scott. We've had Dirt Rooster, Mr. Ed.
Now, Scott, I don't know him personally, but he's probably about 35 minutes away from me. Mr. Ed is probably about 35 minutes away from me.
And who all have we had on here? Ian Stepler, Mr. Ed, the Dirt Rooster, Yappy Bee Man, and JP came on through Yappy's phone.
Bruce, Gene.
Yeah, Bruce. We've had Castle
Brian.
Hives. Had a lot of people on here.
Nature's Image.
And they're located in Blythewood, South Carolina. You've known JP for years? He kind of just started coming back to doing a few videos. He took some time off. And yeah, Yappy and I talked. He said he had stopped by and saw you. And when we were talking about, I was telling him I was trying to get you guys up to Hive Life Conference this year. And I spoke to your wife one day at the shop. And we were working on it, but she never called back. He helped. So yeah, we've, he helped you perfect Honeybee Gone?
I got a big bottle of Honeybee Gone over in my storage next door.
So Scott, if you want to click the link and come in, Scott, you're more than welcome. I don't know what your office situation is right there, but I know you do Honeybee Gone. You do Swarm Commander, and you do what's the supplement? Is it Keeper's Friend or something like that? So, yeah, definitely. You know, I've got your phone number. If you want, I can just text you tomorrow or something like that. Or maybe not tomorrow, but maybe next week. And I'll get with you about the hive life and getting a booth set up or something like that if you want to. Let's see. What's that say? Where's the link?
I'll drop it in the chat just in case you don't see it at the top. Click on that link right there, put the name you want, and just make sure your YouTube channel, if you have that open, is muted, or I'll create a audio loop.
And oh, this would be neat.
Yeah, it's Beekeeper's Choice feeding stimulant you were talking about.
Beekeeper's Choice.
I'll bring that up. Anybody want to see it?
So hopefully I like it because when you squeeze it, it does pre-measure.
Yeah. It'll come out in your little cup right here.
And if you notice, it's not as expensive as the other ones. So hopefully maybe Scott Derrick will join us here.
Well, I'm going to drop a link to Blythewood's website right there. Anybody want to check out everything they got?
And if you are a veteran, if you call the store, they do offer a veteran's discount. Abby said you got to register for the website. You got to call her. Then she can apply the discount. So when you order online, you get the veteran's discount. So Scott's a Navy vet like myself. And maybe he's getting his stuff set up. Earl, I'm surprised you ain't hopped in here tonight, buddy. Scott, usually we got a bunch of regulars that jump on with us, and they're I'll be glad to see you come on. My head starts hurting when I start thinking about the money I've spent on beekeeping.
I know how that is.
And to be honest with you, other than a few items, I pretty much buy it all at Blythewood. You know, it works for me, for sure. Not to mention that I've got queens, and Abby's sending people to. She's been sending people that need queens to me, so it works out pretty good. It's been working out good this week.
I'm going to duck down here for a minute. I just realized the batteries in my wireless mic pack died. I got to plug them in.
You're not even on wireless mic pack.
No, but I get up every now and then.
So I'll be curious. Let me see what to say. I'm trying. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Hey, we know how to kill time. Trust me. I'll be curious, just to find out from the supplier standpoint, maybe some challenges they're having with getting supplies and stuff like that with the supply chain issues. I've only talked to one person. I haven't talked to Scott here about it yet. But I do have Larimore, what I'm trying to do is get companies that recognize the co-op, right? And once they recognize the co-op, if you're a member of the co-op, then you can go and order directly from them and just get it shipped to you. So we just get the bulk rate, right? The cheaper rate for everybody in the co-op for being a member, and it gets shipped directly to you. Because, I mean, yeah, if I ordered a pallet of boxes, I could have them delivered here, but then everybody would have to come to my place and pick them all up, which isn't, necessarily good for you guys, to do that. So if we can get the bulk rate discount on some stuff, and that way you guys could just order it direct, and even if it's a little discount's better than no discount. And I'll tell you what, I really don't like dealing with Man Lake. I mean, I don't. First of all, they're kind of geared for the mega beekeeper, right? And when I say that, if you're able to buy pallets of stuff by yourself and get a discount, well, then you wouldn't even really need to be in the co-op. I mean, it's like smaller beekeepers banded together so we could get so we can try to save a little bit. Because guys, I've spent since January, I've probably spent $10,000 easy.
It don't take long, especially you get the heavy extraction equipment.
And
A hive here, a hive there ain't bad, but when you get into extraction, that's where the cost really goes up.
oh, and that is just beekeeping stuff. Like it doesn't include bees, like any bees I've bought. That is just like boxes and frames and extracting equipment and all that kind of stuff. So trying to get somebody on board. Oh, there he is. All right. Hey, Scott.
You hear me?
Oh, yeah, you have to mute your YouTube.
Mute YouTube. Okay.
Hey, Scott.
You hear me? Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I'm trying to mute YouTube. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you hear the little loop that's going on?
Trying to mute YouTube. So I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you hear the little loop that's going on? You get it?
I don't see the mute button on here. I'm trying to find it.
Just right click on the.
Oh, there it
tab
is.
at the top of your screen.
I see it. There it is. All right, trying to get the camera on now.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get all of it set up.
If you hit the settings at the bottom of the StreamYard, it should give you an option to pick what camera you want to use or whatever.
Playback quality. You're talking about settings inside of YouTube, right?
No, it's StreamYard.
Oh, streaming. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, that's where I need to be. All right, gotcha. I see settings.
Tell you what, this is a welcome surprise.
Well, it says camera, FaceTime, video HD. Okay, let's try that one. It's not giving me the ability to do it. Let me see. Continue allowing. Camera, it says web plugin virtual. It's not allowing me to go to my. It's definitely not an easy setup.
Once you get it set the first time, it pretty much saves all the settings, so you won't have to go through it again.
Gotcha.
But
trying to.
Well, if you can't get it working, we just have to do
Anywho, I'll keep trying while we talk. But yeah, I think what you guys are talking about has been talked about forever with beekeepers, and what happens when you and ask me how I know this. when you start buying in bulk and you start having people buy from you 10, 12 bottles or whatever it is, you start opening up a store in the local area is what you start doing. That's what typically ends up happening. So many people come to you and you're like, hey, I've got a business here. Why don't I go ahead and make it happen?
But then you got the overhead of the business too. You got to have a place to put everything.
You got overhead. You've got overhead anywhere you go. I mean, if you store a pallet load of bottles in your house, I mean, or in a garage or whatever, think about it for a minute. That's square footage of your garage. And I know that, and you can actually take that off on your taxes if you're running a business, out of your garage or whatever. But trying to get to the camera here. It's just not letting me do it for some reason, which is weird. But and the other thing is that, I mean, I want to sell product to local beekeepers at the best price I possibly can, considering freight, considering manufacturers, wholesale pricing, etc., and so forth. I want to give them the best that I possibly can. Case in point, there's a new foundation company that came out a couple years ago that's competing against Acorn and against Peerco.
Premier.
Yeah, and I want to bring their product in. Well, it's higher price than Acorn. Well, I can either lose margin, or and that doesn't help your business, that doesn't help you keep employees on, et cetera and so forth, keep the lights on, or I can charge the customer more. And the freight is whole nother thing. If I bring in 2 pallets of foundation, black and white, black and yellow, deep, heavy waxed, extra heavy is what I want. It's just more expensive, because you have to add that freight cost to each individual bottle. And most people don't do that, and I know that in the grand scheme of things, when you're ordering, what you guys are ordering with a case of caps and 300 bottles or whatever, you're not thinking about that for the most part, because it's feel like pennies. Well, guess what? Over a period of time, those pennies become a lot larger.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to really, and I've learned this over the past 7 or 8 years we've been in business, you really have to count every single cost. I mean, everything that's associated with it.
Well, speaking of the Acorn, last year, or when I started, I was doing foundationless, and then I came in there and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of stringing these foundationless frames. So I went to the Acorn foundation. And then this year I came over to your place there and I bought 25 deeps and 50 mediums. And my thing was at that point, well, if I like the Acorn, which I did, I just bought the Acorn plastic frames, which ended up being cheaper than buying a wooden frame and the foundation. So, I mean, I just switched to all Acorn plastic, and I mean, they're doing terrific on it. And
I mean, you're talking about the full plastic frames.
Yeah,
we've got those are lower cost for sure. The cost is going to be going up here before long, though, because resin costs are starting to skyrocket because of petrol, for fuel costs,
right,
are going up. So all this stuff with us not producing our own oil in the United States and buying it from overseas is killing all of us. And that's why for 7 years, basically 6 years, I never raised my prices. But this year I've been forced to, because of the prices that have been passed on to me. And it's frustrating. It's a frustrating thing for me. First of all, it's a ton of work, that you have to deal with. And we sell wholesale to a lot of different people. So I mean, we have other wholesale accounts. We actually have a wholesale side to our website. If you're an approved vendor, you get access to all that. But
I'm not approved.
But
hey, I'm gonna tell you guys something. This is like the first time I went into Blythewood Bee Company, and I told Scott, I said, Scott, hey, I got a YouTube channel, and he looked
crazy, dude.
Yeah, he looked at it and he was like, yeah. At this point, you don't have enough impact to warrant doing the affiliate or a discount code or something. So maybe we'll revisit that now in the future.
Absolutely, always. I mean, it has to make sense for everybody, when you're doing something like that.
Well, for sure. I mean, especially this year with everything being the way it is, what is your biggest challenge as a supplier as far as just the day-to-day? I mean, I know you've got Abby over there and she's great. And
well, I mean, I up until 2 years ago, I was in there every day working, 10 hours, 11 hours a day, basically. But, when I started about 4 years ago, I started having problems with stage 4 renal failure, or stage 2 renal failure. So my kidneys started to fail on me. I have I'm a disabled vet, but also have an autoimmune disease called psoriatic arthritis. I was on the drug Celebrex for 21 years, and it's a godsend. That medication is absolute godsend. It changed my life whenever I started taking it, but it also contributed to destroying my kidneys, which I'm not mad at them. because it made my life so much better for 21 years. But the autoimmune disease, also the inflammation caused by the autoimmune disease, can destroy, can scar kidneys, and that was a combination of things. So 5 hours a day, I'm doing dialysis now, and I do it 4 to 5 days a week, and I do it myself. I do it I was trained to do it for 6 weeks in a clinic, and so I can't be in there. Not only that, I can't really keep bees the way that I used to, because your kidneys help regulate your body's temperature. And after about 20 minutes being out there, dude, I'm done. I just can't. I can't deal with the heat. But hopefully, sooner or later, getting a kidney transplant is going to change all that. I am, being a little bit more active in there now, in the shop now, just because I have to at this point, because of the things that are going on with the economy and everything else. It shook it.
Right.
And so I'm trying to go in there and stabilize things a little bit.
I was in
hired
there probably a month ago, and your wife was in there, and we had a nice long talk, and I actually thought I was going to might have been coming to work there part time. This was before the packages and everything.
We had talked about that. We'll probably never get any work done because you talk a lot.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it's true, but ask Abby. I've sold some stuff for you guys while I've been in there.
I know you have. I would rather hire you on as my as my beekeeper. I want to get somebody in the commercial world sooner or later that can do that for me. I can fund the hives, and that's a lot of work though, man. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of work, and I have to have a team of people to be able to do it. I need somebody to lead it, and then they're getting really funky about having immigrants come over on these visas, these work visas.
Right.
For the commercial guys are getting really weird about that now. I don't think they want it to happen. They don't want it to happen, but they're leaving the southern border open, which kind of confuses me.
Right.
I've talked to a couple commercial guys, and they're having a real hard time keeping these guys over here because of the visa restrictions and things of that nature. So, which is weird, just weird.
They got a lot of that going in North Louisiana. They got all the cotton fields up there.
Oh yeah,
the immigrants coming in for pollination.
Well, I mean, they're extraordinarily important to our country. I mean, they're very important to our country, and I understand. I mean, not to get too deeply into political stuff, and I'm not going to, but there's always been, even back in the 1920s, there was a demographic of people that did the laborious work and traveled with the crops. That's what they did. They followed the crops around the United States, and they were basically poor people that did all of the laborious work, and were paid for it, and they lived meager lives. I'm not saying that's what immigrants should live, but Americans aren't willing to go out there and pick broccoli and bent over with knives and all that other stuff. So,
but yet it's still got to be done, right?
It's got to be done because we got to eat,
right.
and that's extraordinarily important. So I'm all for it. I just think it should be done legally, and there should be avenues. They should open up avenues for it to be done legally. Become citizens legally.
All right, so we've already had someone volunteer to come help me out at your commercial bee operation. So let's get it done.
It's a possibility, man. I talked to a commercial beekeeper recently and said, hey, look, if I've funded 1,000 hives, not that I can do that right now at all in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, you can just fund my 30. That'd be fine.
I could do it a lot. I could do it a lot easier because I can get these, the colonies. So plus all of our hives are made from yellow pine, which lasts far longer than the white pine, boxes that you get in a lot of places. I actually burnt a hive for a guy today, 2 hives for a guy today with a torch and with Shishugibon type. And Japanese have a wood preservation method called Shishugibon. And you burn the wood rather than painting it. And when you have yellow pine, it has a much higher sap content. So when you hit it with a torch like you would use to, hook to a propane bottle, and you use to burn weeds off a sidewalk or whatever, one of those long torches, you can burn the box and you can actually see the rosin come to the surface and
Right.
it solidifies. And what is that? I mean, what that is protection. And so I burned the box for him. I even have one out back. You've probably seen it. It's a couple years old now, but I literally charred it and put bees in it, and that thing has not rotted in any way, shape, or form.
I've actually when I first came in there, you recommended that to me, and I did it.
Yeah.
And it looks, the hive bodies look great, other than the fact that I sprayed some helmsman over top of them, and the helmsman didn't stick. The helmsman is what's breaking off, but everything else is great with it.
I use poly. I usually use some type of sort of poly. I like the helmsman. The helmsman is a type of plant, but they have one that's, I can't remember the actual name brand. I can't, dialysis gives me brain fog and I hate it worse than anything on the planet. It kind of messes with my memory, but there is a type of helmsman that is best used on that type of wood when you burn it like that. And, but I don't char it. If I'm going to char it, I don't put anything on it. But if I just burn it to bring the grain out, to make it look like furniture, and then urethane it, then I'll urethane it or something like that.
Just let it air out.
It doesn't last as the urethane doesn't quite last as long, I don't think personally, as a good couple coats of paint will, but it sure is beautiful. And when you've got wood that has a grain like that, like some, and we only have select grade boxes, by the way. We don't sell anything else other than select grade. So you're getting select grade yellow pine that is precision machine cut, and when you burn it, that grain pops and it just looks like furniture. I mean, it looks like some sort of amazing furniture.
Well, I buy all my boxes from you guys. You're close, so I like to come pick it up and run my mouth. and
not you.
And you know what? If there was one thing that I could change, I would buy all of my boxes pre-assembled, because it's usually only $2 more than buying it. The only thing that I would change about that is if you could get those guys to drop some little wood glue in there when they were putting them together.
Yeah, we tried that in the very beginning. And most people don't use the length of nails that we use to put our boxes together. The wood, you're right about that. I think that's a great idea. It just gets so messy. Trying to do that and keep your table clean that you're assembling boxes on and stuff like that. You end up getting glue all over the box. It's just really difficult.
You just got to get Josh to be squared away.
Yeah. Josh is the man. But yeah, we've tried that, but we use 1-inch nails, and I've not had any problems personally with them pulling apart in any way, shape, or form. And if I did, and if I had customers complaining about it, then I would revisit something. I even thought about putting a different type of nail in the boxes that we utilize. Some people are utilizing staples, these long, wide staples.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
Thought about that for sure, but I'd have to change guns, which I don't mind doing. But everything we're doing is working fine right now. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I learned that in the Navy.
Yeah. Usually if it's broken, you try to fix it, you break it worse.
Yeah. But yeah, you ask about frustrations with business. Another frustration that we have is being able to really get the kind of employees that you need. The other side of the business that I have is the general store, if you've ever been in there.
Yep. Talk to your daughter before
I'm
she had her
looking for a
baby.
manager right now for my general store, and I'm offering a decent, really decent salary. Can't find anybody. I've had it up on ZipRecruiter probably for 3-4 days, and I mean it costs like $28 a day to keep that ad up there, and I'm getting sparse people back. But back about 3-4 years ago, I put an ad up in ZipRecruiter. Man, I got probably 30-40 applications within a number of a day or two, and I was able to hire somebody immediately. But it's not happening that way right now. And
do you find with the bee company not having somebody that is a beekeeper that's there. I mean, Abby's got some bees, but I mean, as far as like in-depth knowledge of beekeeping, you think that sets you back over there a little bit, or no?
Well, when I was working there 8 to 10 hours a day, I was the one answering the questions, and all of the folks that I hired were listening. So the same questions are asked time and time again. It's not like there are new questions.
Right.
So they would, Abby learned from all of the questions that I was answering with her for 2 years.
Well,
And on the phone, she'd hear me on the phone. But yeah, is it a disadvantage to hire people that are not beekeepers? Yes and no. I would say yes from the standpoint that the training process is more difficult. It takes longer. It's more time intensive. But you can train them the way that you want to train them, rather than them having some knowledge that about equipment or whatever that might be wrong, and they want to try to do it their way or whatever. You're training them to do it your way,
right.
And helping them learn. But also have the school that I do, typically February, March, and April, 1-day class intensive, and I always have my employees go through that. So, and that also familiarizes them with it. But there are all kinds of facets to business that you have issues with. We're getting ready to switch over our point of sale system from Lightspeed, which is an extraordinary omni-channel type point of sale system, inventory, ordering, receiving, everything else, to Shopify, which is going to save us probably $5,000 a year.
Right.
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Well, that turns $5,000 take $5,000 of profit right there, just instantly.
Yep, that's right. Or $5,000 that I can buy new products with and bring them in. I mean, like we got some new, like bringing in Premiere, or something like that. I love bringing in new stuff all the time, and trying to, at least anyway. The problem, one of the other main problems that we end up dealing with is that the largest percentage of beekeeping tools, queen excluders,
China,
hive tools, frame grips, uncapping, benches, etc. Stuff, they're all made in China. And you find very few, if any, that are made here in the United States. And the problem is that we in America have come to have this Walmart mentality. And if you go to buy, I can take a Kelly smoker, which is probably the best smoker on the planet as far as I'm concerned. At this point, I think they're the best. And put it right next to a Chinese smoker that looks the same, but has a little bit, less, metal content, made with a cheaper metal, but looks the same. And 9 times, or I'd say probably 8 times out of 10, they'll choose the Chinese smoker because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. It's $29.95 versus a Kelly smoker, which is going to be about $59 to $69.
Yeah, but I've seen those Kelly smokers will last you 30 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'd rather spend that little extra money for something that's quality.
Well, there is a section of the beekeeping demographic that will do that. But then you've got a large section of the demographic that are going to pull up all 4 or 5 websites directly on their 27-inch computer screen, and they're going to cross-check every single price. And if one is 50 cents cheaper, they're going to do it. And they're going to go with that cheaper price. And, if I were to bring in all tools made in the United States, it would increase the cost of goods probably 50 to 60%.
Right.
And because of the, people here in the United States are making $15 and are going to make $15 to $18 an hour in some areas where they're manufacturing these things. And, others are buying the Chinese stuff. It's just, it's a plethora of issues that you deal with. in this industry. I would much rather buy stuff from the United States, sell stuff from the United States. But here's the thing: 80% of the products that we buy here in the United States are probably made in China. Clothing, televisions, furniture, everything. I had this guy come in one time complaining that we didn't have enough stuff made in the United States, and I looked down at his tennis shoes and they're Nike.
Made in
and I look
Taiwan
at his
or
car
something.
and it's a Toyota. And
Right.
I'm like, dude, why are really? And you're complaining about that?
Well,
I mean,
for me, I like to buy American. I'm a veteran just like you. I'm patriotic, but I'm not. I've also got to be reasonable with the amount of money. I've got to make it spread out from the consumer aspect. So
that's right. That's right.
When I started looking at equipment, yeah, I could have bought a Man Lake bottling tank for what is it 16-gallon tank, Lee, that you got? I was looking at the same one you got.
16-gallon Maxent, and I think it's like $1,500 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or I could buy the 18-gallon Lyson that's used all over Europe for $989.
Yeah, that's right.
So
and see, that's the issues that you run into as a as a B store owner or any kind of retail owner. That's what you're going to run into. And I love licensed equipment. I'd love to bring it in. It is, to me, probably the best. I love Maxant too. Don't get me wrong. I have Maxant, honey warmers, double heat tank. We use those. I love it. To me, it's high quality product. I've talked to them about being a rep for them, but they just don't offer margins. And I have to buy $10,000, about 10 grand worth of equipment and pull it in, and would only be making, 5 to 6% off of, the product. I can't invest that kind of money and only get a 5 to 6% return on it.
It would cost you more. It would cost you more to warehouse it for the time it would take to warehouse it. Then
exactly. So I just send people to them if they want a Maxant. I don't even try to go that direction. Most of the stuff that we'll get in is going to be Chinese made. But I did reach out to Lyson and I have not heard back from them. I mean, it was a while back and I have not had a chance to focus on it again. But I guarantee you, they probably have minimums, and it's probably expensive as crap to bring in a half truckload or something like that of those things. I'd be willing to do it, but you have to have maturity in a company too. We're about 5 or 6 years old. I think we've made a dent in the industry for sure, but we're not, blue sky yet. We're getting there. Well, but we're not blue sky. We're not, date ant for sure.
Well, you are Swarm Commander though.
Well, we are Swarm Commander. Yeah, we are.
And most people don't know that Swarm Commander is your product because you branded them separately, right?
Yeah.
And
you mean between Honeybee Gone and Swarm Commander, or what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, so you can buy Swarm Commander at other retailers.
Yeah. It's in distribution. Yeah, it's in distribution.
And it doesn't show, like, most people didn't know. Of course, Yappy did, but most people didn't know that you are the actual person who created.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Swarm Commander. And how did you come about that?
That's a great question. One that I've been asked many, many times. Well, I was in the corporate world for 20 years, and I sold products into the food and chemical industry. I called on Fortune 500 companies, their research and development laboratories, and I worked with them. Companies like Nabisco, Kraft, some of the other major companies in the food industry, companies in the chemical personal care industry like Maybelline, Bath and Body Works, some of those major laboratories that were creating products looking 3 to 5 years down the road as to what they were going to create. And what I did was, when I got burnt out in the corporate world, traveling all over the place, I'm on a web call. Sorry, dudes. It's my son bringing me some Chick-fil-A.
Hey, we want Chick-fil-A too.
I've met both of your sons, by the way.
Show me how to get the camera on this thing. He's a tech. He's a tech guru. This is some program that they've got and I couldn't get the.
It's StreamYard, yeah.
It's the camera thing is X'd out. It says command. Press Command E. All right, let you have it. He's my tech guru.
Look at that. I already see it's changed. It's black, but I see that it's changed from just the microphone.
Gonna work? Is it gonna work?
And it went back.
The browser's lost connection to the camera.
Browser lost connection. Make sure you have the right camera settings. He's working on it.
Anyway,
What browser are you using?
Google Chrome.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, StreamYard likes Chrome. It don't like.
He's going in. He knows what he's doing here. He's going into settings.
You guys
Yeah, I actually got a couple of your two-frame mating nukes that you have on your website.
Oh yeah. So I had it says web plugin, but I went.
StreamYard. Okay.
Dude, how do you know all this, man? Freaking kids. I guess when you cut your teeth on a keyboard.
I was over at the warehouse one day, and they had the big 55-gallon drum of Swarm Commander, and they were bottling it up. And I just was thinking to myself when I left, I wouldn't want to be the guy who left the cap off the 55-gallon drum of Swarm Commander over the weekend. Right. And then you come back in, and your whole warehouse is full of bees.
Well, we had problems. We've had problems before when we bottled it over at the original facility when we had all the production in the middle room. I don't know if you remember that or if you were around when that happened. We had a production in the middle room, and we had a fan that we used to blow air, to kind of circulate air.
Right.
Start your router computer. I wouldn't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm not
you
worried
can
about
actually
it.
Changing over to Firefox actually might be good.
I'm not worried about it. We're having a good conversation. Okay. I'm not worried about it. Right. So where were we? What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought.
You talking about the circulating the air in the room?
Oh yeah. So we were circulating the air. Not circulating, but blowing air out, and we would crack the door so that in our little small facility, and it would actually blow air out, and we'd have 30, 40 bees at the window, just bumping up against it,
trying to get in.
Fan, trying to get in. And if you leave the door cracked, you're done.
Right. I've been buying queens in bulk and keeping them banked. And when someone calls up there for queens, Abby's been handing my number out, so I've been selling a good bit of queens over here. But I can't get them as cheap as we talked about on the phone at that time. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking to start doing my own queen rearing down here. And
I had another guy coming today. That wants to do queens as well. Have you seen our Saracel queen kits or not? Have you seen those?
There, you have one on the shelf in there, but it's taped up, so I didn't
I untaped that today and cut all the flaps off, and it's right up on the cash register. You got to really check that out. That's an amazing kit. And we also have the plastic cages, so that after.
Does it come with the queen? Is it the queen rollers, or is it like a JZBZ type cage? Or
no, it's a completely different system, a different type system. It comes with 4 mating frames. And has these
lead real quick.
It has these cups, cell cups, that you can push up into a rail and turn it, and it locks it. And then it's real cool, man. It's a real neat kit. It also comes with a gauge that helps you to basically know exactly when to pull your queens out. It's a name for that kit, that dial. Anyway, he's trying to fix the camera so you can watch me eat. Keep going.
Watch you eat your Chick-fil-A.
But Yeah, it's a neat little kit, and we've got like a 3/4 of a skid of them, and haven't sold a tremendous amount of them because I haven't done a video or anything on it. I need to do a video on it, put it up on YouTube, because I think people, if they saw it, they would really appreciate it. But
Well, hey, I could be your guy. I could get one and make a video.
yeah, why don't you do that, man? Take it over, take it and do something with it. Seriously, I'm serious about that.
All right, maybe I'll swing
Tell
by
Abby,
there tomorrow.
tell Abby I said to give it to you and try it out and see what you think.
All right.
Hey, Scott, I got a quick question for you.
Yep.
Is there anything in the Swarm Commander that could be harmful if a human takes it internal?
Absolutely. It's a chemical, man.
Yeah.
Lee took a shot of it on camera.
Yeah, I took a shot of it a while back on camera, and I regretted it.
I bet you did. I bet your bowels regretted it too.
Hey, there's a video on YouTube that
It was
exists.
rough.
Guy,
It works good.
We've had so many different things that have happened over the years with Swarm Commander. We had a lady one time that left it on her bathroom counter, and she's doing her hair and picked up the bottle thinking it was hairspray.
Ooh.
And sprayed it all in her hair, man. So I get a phone call. My wife sprayed Swarm Commander in her hair, and what do we do? And she's yelling at me. He was yelling at me like I'm the one that sprayed it on her.
You should have told her. Well, maybe
there's no warning label. There's no dude. Do I have to put a warning label on there that says don't spray on your wife's hair or something?
Hey, License 30 frame extractor has a no babies. Like, don't put your baby in the extractor logo on it.
That's something I just don't. Well, anyway.
You have to tell people.
Hey, Scott, you
But
mind?
yeah, it was. I've had so many things happen. When I was a beer, check this out. When I was a beer working with the general public, it's really something else. But when I was doing bee removals, I did bee removals as a profession for about 8 years, traveling 3 states doing it when nobody was doing it really. I had the corner on the market. And I had this guy call me one time, and he said, "Hey, I got some bees in between my first and my second floor of my house, and I need to get them removed." And so we had a little bit more of a conversation, because that's where I would normally take them out. I'd go inside the house and take them from inside the house rather than outside. I'd open up the ceiling and take them out. He says, so what I did is that I took gasoline, and I put gasoline into a garden sprayer, and I sprayed it in between the first and the second floor, and now my daughter has to not be in the room because of all the fumes. And I'm like, did you really do that, or is this like a prank call or something, or just one of my buddies messing with me, because they've done that before. But no, this guy really did this. Sprayed gasoline in between the first and second floor, so much gasoline that the fumes went through the sheetrock, and his daughter couldn't sleep in the room.
Did well, your son took. I don't know if he took it over, but he's doing removals now as well, right?
Yeah, my son-in-law is doing it, man.
Yeah, I met him a few weeks ago. He was on Craigslist, off of Craigslist of all places. That he had a few cheap nukes, and I went and bought them off of him. He said
were they in good shape or what?
They were swarms that were kind of suspect, but he needed. They were cheap. So I got them and requeened them, and everything's good. Yeah, they're doing okay right now. They're not going to make any honey for me this year, but they're doing all right.
But Swarm Commander. You guys asked me how it came about with Swarm Commander. So after I got done with the corporate world, just burnt out, I did bee removals for a while. I had always had this thing in the back of my head that, looking at beekeeping supplies and things of that nature, especially the swarm lure, it needed to be innovated in. These little vials that Man Lake sells and the little envelopes, I knew that I even bought a bunch of them myself. They never seemed to work, with the instructions that they, put on the little envelope. So I sat on it for years. I sat on it for a number of years. And also being in the bee removal industry, Bee Quick didn't work at keeping bees out of these cavities and stuff like that, after you did a removal.
Right.
And if you ever used, what's the other one, the butyl acid or the butyl, was it butyl acetate? Is it Bego? I think it's Bego, the stuff that smells like vomit.
Right.
You ever use that inside of a house of a customer, that you will hear back, I promise. Oh yeah, Honey Bandit. Yeah. Well, when we created Honey Be Gone, I wanted to make it stronger than all of them. So I sent samples of everything up to my laboratories that I worked with in research and development, my fragrance laboratories, and they helped me to compound it and come up with what we needed to be able to be stronger and to be able to offer it instead of 8-ounce bottle, a 16-ounce bottle for less. And that was my goal, and have a trigger sprayer so you could actually adjust the spray pattern that you wanted on there, rather than having a high mist sprayer on it.
Well, I use the Honey Be Gone. It smells like almonds to me.
Mm.
Yeah, it does smell like that. It's not that, and I'll never tell the secret. But anyway, so swarm we going in, and then once I got Honey Be Gone going, me and JP and Yappy helped, and a couple other people we gave samples to. They all tried it and loved it. And said, hey man, this stuff really works. It drives bees out of cavities. It does this, it does that. So, okay, well, I know we got a home run then. So that's when I started bottling it. And then I started in my home, actually, doing it like everybody else does. And then I decided to go ahead with Swarm Commander. And it took us about 2 years to perfect that. And we basically took Nasonoff and took it to the lab and ran GC and mass spec on it.
Mm-hmm.
And came up with a number of compounds, and I tried them out a couple of times, and they just didn't work as far as what I was concerned. So one day, I got a new compound from my laboratory, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go out and put it in an empty box. I'm gonna spray it into an empty box. And see if I get any interest from the bees, even if they just sniff it, because it's something that's familiar to them. Excuse me for a second. I just choked on some chicken. Don't choke on chicken, man. It's not good. So anyway, I took it comes in the little 2-ounce bottle with the high mist sprayer, and that's what they sent it to me in. And so I walked outside my back deck, headed toward my beehives that I had outside, and I had an empty one in the middle of 2 hives that were active. And so I loaded it. As I was walking toward it, I was spraying it up in the air, trying to load the sprayer. And I got some of it on my shirt. And I was like, dang it. So as I walked over to the hive, the empty hive, and it was propolized shut because the bees that were inside of it had died. Probably not the best test hive in the world to use, but I just wanted to see if I'd get any sort of interest. So I sprayed it inside. I went to go lift the lid off, and when I did, it was propolized down. Well, it was on one of the long wooden benches that we have, Bob.
Right.
And when I went to go take the lid off, it bumped. It hit hard. And so the bees that were on either side, I had one colony on the left-hand side that was hot. It was a pissy hive, and the other one was friendly on the right. Well, as soon as I lifted it up, lifted the hive with it, and then it broke the propolis and it hit that bench, and I knew, oh crap, because we're no more than 2 foot away from the other hives, so it shook them, and so I backed up, and they came out. Especially the ones on the left came out, and so I backed up. I didn't have a suit on, nothing. I backed up, and when I did, they started coming towards me. And they weren't stinging me. They were landing on my shirt, and they were raising their butts up in the air, and they were fanning. And I was like, this is it. We got it. We finally got it. So trialed it out to a bunch of different people to give it a shot. There were a lot of them were successful. Some of them were, some of them weren't. Had a bunch of people that tried it in next to lemongrass, and did tests that way, and every time Swarm Commander would come out on top, whether it was 1 or 2 successes. And they were always on top of lemongrass. Some of them were even, but the majority, were there. It is not lemongrass. Some people say, "Oh, it just smells just like lemongrass." It is
Smells like
not.
Pledge to me.
Yeah, it is not lemongrass oil. It is a compound of various chemicals that is the closest that we could possibly get to Nasonex. So that's the story behind that. I started bottling in my house. I printed labels off on my printer, taped them on with clear tape, and put them up on the web and up on eBay and stuff. And prayed to God that it would sell. Didn't think it ever would. And it started selling. I actually, any of you guys get on B-Source at all back in the day? The
No.
forum B-Source.
I haven't been.
There's actually a forum out there that I think they've changed ownership, but it was a beekeeping forum back in the day that was worldwide, and you could buy a 300 by 300 pixel ad. And so I created a 300 by 300 pixel ad and paid the guy a couple $100, and he put it up there, and so everybody in the world could see it. That was probably one of the best ads I ever put up because Gabe Dadant saw it on B-Source, and I got a call from him. He's like, "Hey, we want to carry your product, but we've got to test it. Can you send us some samples?" And I was like, "You bet I can."
How much you want? 55-gallon drum?
So then he ordered. So I think Gabe, the first order they placed with us was like 500 bottles of Swarm Commander, and they wanted 1,000. Oh no, it was 500 packs of our lures that we used to fill by hand, the little 0.05 milliliter microcentrifugal vials.
Right.
You would not believe how long it took me to fill those things, and then to put them in the envelopes and then labeled. Oh God, I was like, I got to figure out a way to do this differently. So, well, but that's the story behind it, and Dadant was the first in distribution with it, and then it took a few years for people to get used to it, but I sell it all over the world now.
I had a swarm that it swarmed to a nuke. It was one of my own nukes swarmed to another one of my nukes in the yard. And then it decided it didn't want to stay in there, and it took back out. And I literally took a 5-gallon pail and sprayed one spray of Swarm Commander on it and set it on my stack of ready-to-go equipment out there.
Yeah.
And they broke flight and landed on the bucket. Queen, everybody landed on it.
I've had that happen so many times when I did bee removals, and after not bee removals, bee removals and swarm captures. Swarm captures is where it really works. That's where the magic happens. There's actually a video on YouTube that is up where I was going after this pretty big swarm on a tree limb, was taking all the bees down by hand, and all of a sudden they swarmed on me. I had maybe 2 or 3 handfuls of bees put into the box, and all of a sudden they lit off. They were gone. I mean, they were taken off out of it. I was like, oh crap, and they left out of the box. Well, I took the box over to an open area, took Swarm Commander, sprayed it in the air like 6 or 8 times, just loaded the air with it, and then put one spray on the landing board, and those bees came down and went into the box. And it's actually on video. I've got it on video on my YouTube channel for Blythewood Bee Company.
Yeah,
I believe that's where it is.
I posted a link to your Blythewood Bee Company YouTube channel in the chat.
Okay. I hadn't done a lot of videos recently, and you guys have to excuse me because dialysis not only doesn't make you not feel good, it messes with your sleep. It causes insomnia, and it causes restless leg syndrome, and it's just horrible, man. There's sometimes I don't go to sleep for 48 hours. That's why you don't see me around a lot, Bob.
Right. Well,
part of the reason.
I'm there. It seems like at least once a week, sometimes twice a week.
Abby's probably the jewel of my business right now. She really, and we've got a lot of good people, but Abby has been the jewel.
Well, I've got to meet the whole family over there. I met your wife. I met you.
Basically started off as an employee. After 3 days of seeing her in my shop, I knew she was going to be my manager. And she was only 20, 21. Never had a job like that. Never done anything like that. And I started training her. And,
yeah, she's a good one.
She's good, man. Really good.
And I'll call her up, and I mean, she keeps a note there.
Did I
Like
lose you? Oh, hang on. Yeah, I turned my sound off. Sorry.
no problem. But yeah, she's real good. So if anybody calls up there, you'll probably get Abby, or the new girl was Jessica.
Jessica, yeah, Jessica's learning, but she's fast learner, so she's already picking stuff up pretty good. So we're getting ready to switch over to Shopify, and when that happens, things are gonna be different. Our inventory online is going to be more accurate, and a lot of other things are going to be a lot better, I think.
Bob is in what? Yeah, I'm the frequent shoppers club for sure. So they got a neat little thing that when you sign up, you'll get a text that you like got almost like Man Lake's old V-Bucks, right? But it's not, you don't have to spend $1 million. It's just that every time you order something, you're getting a little bit of credit towards your next order. And I use that to my advantage. So
and you should. I want more customers to use it to their advantage. We tell them about it, and we want them to use it to their advantage. But the majority of our business is online. So,
right.
and I want to try to do something like that with Shopify. Figure that out. I'm not a tech wizard by any means. I can definitely do, and we already have a Shopify website. Website's already a Shopify platform, but I want to offer something like that to the general public. I think it would be great.
And hey, if you're interested in working with our little co-op, we could talk about that. We're, I don't know.
So
it doesn't
tell me about what you guys are doing. Give me an understanding of what's happening.
Basically, what we're trying to do is to help the smaller beekeeper, right? Most of the beekeepers on YouTube might have 1, 3, 10 hives, or me, I've got 30. Lee's got a 30. Ty, how many do you have now?
Let's see. After the one I just added now, I'm in that first category. I think I've got 5 full hives and 3 nukes.
And when you order for someone like Man Lake, you pay more per, right? So our idea is to try to combine our buying power and basically funnel it to suppliers that'll work with us and allow, it doesn't have to be crazy. We're not asking for $1 million off or anything like that. It's just something for, people to be dedicated to suppliers, and then because it kind of funnels down. If everybody is buying from, let's say you at Blythewood Bee Company, then Blythewood Bee Company gives them a discount for being a part of the co-op that is not named yet. And and then, in return,
I don't have a problem doing that, man. I would actually invite that. But what it would have to be is
even if it's like a discount code. I mean, I don't want anything. I'm not trying to make anything off it. I'm just trying to help save the small guy some money.
I completely understand. I would much rather. I would invite that, as a matter of fact, doing something like that and coming up with some sort of a discount. For people who are in a co-op, that would not be a problem. Discount codes are a little weird because there are a lot of sites that scan discount codes and then they publish them. And that's not something I want to happen. I want it to be co-op only discount type code. But I'll look and see if there aren't some applications or something where we could do something like that.
And that way, if you're a member, you come in, or even if we have a Google Doc, right? And then when someone says, hey, I'm a member of the co-op, then you guys can pull up the Google Doc and verify, yep, you're on the co-op. And then there's a discount involved. And we're not saying a flat across the board because the margins are different on everything.
I would much rather have, personally, time is money, and we don't have a huge staff.
Right.
I would much rather have something that's automated to where we can say, okay, here you guys would have maybe a page that people could sign up with, and then you could approve it.
Right.
Approve it or disapprove it, and then that person automatically goes into the discount category for a certain amount, whatever that is. And it could be that it's a staggered discount rate.
Right.
If you buy $100 worth of product or whatever, you get 3%, 2%, 5%. I'm just talking out loud now. That's dangerous sometimes for me.
Right.
But stagger it to where the more you buy, the better discount you get, et cetera and so forth. My goal has been is just be able to offer free shipping. Because all these other guys are, $100, we're going to ship it for free. Well, Man Lake can do that because they're buying their wood in bulk and they're manufacturing their own wood. I don't manufacture it. I'm
Right.
having it manufactured, and to my specifications, of course, because I don't want knotted wood. I want perfect. I want perfect wood.
Yep.
Right.
All of our stuff is select grade. You very rarely will ever see knots in any of our wood that we sell. But anyway, I've got a situation right now that I'm trying to come to fruition with a missionary down in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica has tremendous amounts of wood. Of course, there's rainforest down there, but there are trees down there that you can use for beehives that grow rapidly. So they're sustainable, and the wood is harder than yellow pine, and it's beautiful wood. They have like rainbow eucalyptus. They have 2 or 3 different woods that look like mahogany.
Right.
A little bit darker woods, lighter woods, and they actually have a wood shop down there that they're manufacturing some beehives. But what I want to do with this missionary is come up with some sort of a plan to where he can manufacture a lot of the woodenware for me, and he can actually do it cheaper than what you can get it for off of Alibaba.
Oh, nice.
Which is great, and that way I can offer free shipping. I can sell the wood, sell an exotic type of wood, and I think it would be good niche in the market. But got to make all that happen, which means purchasing equipment and getting it sent down there. I'm trying to be part owner of the business down there when it happens, and that's to support them as the missionaries, because what they're trying to do in Costa Rica is they're trying to teach indigenous people how to beekeep, because believe it or not, Costa Rica used to be a huge honey producing country, but it's not anymore because Varroa wiped them out, and they're third world basically, so they don't know how to really deal with it. They haven't really been known or educated on how to deal with it. So there are some commercial beekeepers down there that are starting, Costa Rican beekeepers, and trying to help these people, and I want to be part of that. As a believer, I want to be part of that, but at the same time benefit the business and
Right.
benefit other people, bring something new to the market, because innovation is really, people like new stuff. I mean, let's be honest, beekeepers like new shiny toys.
Right.
I'm that guy. I'm one of those guys.
Well, I need to hook you up with Rob from larobbies.com. He sells a vaporizer that is about $200 cheaper than the ProVap 110 retail.
Oh, really? Have you seen the battery powered one that they're getting ready to put out?
From ProVap or?
Yep.
No, I haven't seen the battery one.
Yeah, they're getting ready to put one out that has a rechargeable Milwaukee battery.
So that's the larobbies vaporizer, and they've got a couple.
That's nice.
They've got a couple of them. They've got a new one that has a longer nozzle on it.
What does it go for?
$275.
I think he went up. Let me see.
I'm sure he did.
Which, I mean, everything's had to go up lately.
Unfortunately.
But they
I'm like you guys. I like low prices on stuff, man. But it's
right now his vaporizer is $286.
$286. But look up the Larry's got a new one coming out that's
is that ProVap?
Yeah, ProVap. It's battery powered. Should be out soon. I don't think it's launched yet, but it's battery powered. And really, that's That's one of the keys to using that type of a vaporizer. And it's supposed to go. I think you said it's supposed to go for 20 hours or something like that. One of the biggest problems that I've had in the Varroa mite world and trying to market some of these, Varroa tools. What's the one where you can actually put the sheet of metal into the front of the hive and you heat it? You heat the hive. I forgot what that one was called. You remember what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Is it not the wand, right?
No, it's not a wand. This is actually a sheet of metal that you would put underneath the hive, and you would heat it to a certain temperature that would kill the Varroa but not affect the bee. And I forgot what it was, but it was electric.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Gosh, but that thing was expensive.
It's expensive. Not only that, but it's hard to use. I mean, if your bees are out in a field somewhere, you're gonna have to carry a generator. It's gonna have to stay on for hours. It just wasn't practical, in my opinion. And then so this, I think this thing with the battery power oxalic acid vaporizer is going to be really nice. I think it's going to be cool. And I wouldn't doubt that Larabi is going to end up mimicking it or developing their version of it. But anything that's battery powered like that is really the key to being able to go out and vaporize your hives without having to have a cord to it.
Let's see. I'm just trying to see. The only thing they have on their website is the ProVap Easy 110.
So he hasn't announced it yet. I saw it. I actually saw this on, look up bsource.com. That's a real good question and answer bulletin board. If you guys know what bulletin boards, I'm sure you do know what bulletin boards are. The old computer guys. It's a forum. It's a forum, bsource.com.
Yeah.
And Larry Larry has a forum on there, his own little forum where he announced it
on Oxavap.
Yeah, you have to scroll down a little bit. They have a vendor area on BSource, and you'll see it in there on the forum.
Well, it says introducing the ProVap vaporizer. Well, we already know about the ProVap.
That's the vendor area, the oxavap.com.
No, it's not going to be. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be in the vendor area of bsource.com.
Yeah, I'm on bsource.com vendor area, vendor section.
He announced it in there.
Then it says Oxavap.
You click on it, and then it opens.
It says introducing the cordless ProVap 18.
Yeah.
I guess it's an 18-volt battery.
Yeah. I think that's going to be awesome. And I'm definitely going to bring those in because I think that it will encourage people to use oxalic acid vaporization rather than other methods that might either be illegal or whatever, simply because, in fact, I'll probably give one away. I'll probably do a giveaway once I get them. I gave away a ProVap 110 on YouTube one time.
I came in there one day, and when you were first doing those Swarm Commander, the crushable lines, I got some of those before they were packaged. And
that's also been a very frustrating thing. It's a great product, but the lead time on those vials is 6 months. 6 months. So if I order, I think I ordered in the very beginning, I ordered 25,000 vials so that we could put together 5,000 packs, not knowing what they would do. And the first year it was kind of sort of okay, but our sales in the vial area actually dropped because people wanted the little, packs that we were selling before. But they were just too laborious to create. So we went to the crush file and took a lot of work to get that done. But went to go order it, and it was like, yeah, it's a 6 month lead time. I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. And this year, we blew through them. I mean, it was like, you got to be kidding me.
I've been giving them away. I've been buying them and giving them away to the viewers.
People, companies buying 900 packages of these things, crazy stuff like that. And I'm like, So I've got another order in right now, but again, it won't be back until it won't be to us till after the year's over with.
And that's probably one of the biggest things you guys are fighting right now is just being able to get the stuff.
Yep. Anything out of China that we order, any product that we order out of China usually takes about 3 months to get to us, unfortunately. And then you've got tariffs and everything else that have started to cause issues for us where we've had to raise prices, et cetera, and so forth. So, but it is what it is, and we'll make it through it. I mean, we're just got to keep a positive attitude, keep on rolling.
Oh, okay. So it's looking like without the battery, it's $510.
Yeah. But if it's valuable to you, you'll save in the long run. I mean, you'll save in the long run, because people, what I find in the industry, because I'm a center for information coming through the store, asking people hard questions. Have you vaporized your hives? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? The majority of people that we get into the store are new beekeepers for the most part.
Right.
And you still have some seasoned 3, 4, 5 year beekeepers that are coming through. But if I ask them, did you vaporize your hives, properly? Did you do it the amount of times that you needed to do it at the right intervals? Most people are going to tell you no.
Yeah. Oh, well,
that you did it 3 weeks in a row. Most people are going to say no.
I bought my ProVap before I had my bees. And one day I was in your store and there was a lady and her husband they were local, but they were keeping their bees in the upstate. And I just asked them, I said, well, are you guys going to be treatment free? Have you thought about treating? And she's like, well, we just went through the state beekeeping course, and she acted like she had never heard about treating her bees.
Wow. Maybe they missed that day.
Yeah, maybe.
South Carolina Beekeepers, Mid-State Beekeepers Association. I don't know if they went to the state one or to Mid-State, but Mid-State has their class broken up into multiple days, and that's why we do ours. We do ours just one day, a 1-day intensive, and we hit the highlights of basically get a beekeeper started, a brand new beekeeper started, in the industry. They're going to have to learn more. But
I'll tell you one thing about Man Lake that frustrates me. $160, right? Something like that. 158, 160, something like that.
How many's in that one?
This is the 50 pack. It's got a 2-year shelf life.
Just like Apogard, not Apogard, Formic Pro.
And when I got this, it expires this October.
Yeah, they didn't rotate their stock properly. That's what they didn't do. And somebody pulled it from the back. I've had that happen with Formic Pro that we have. I tell people, if you're not going to treat your hives, if your lifestyle is as such where that you're not going to make it out there to vaporize your hives 3 weeks in a row, then don't ignore it. Use this product or that product. It's easier to use. Yeah. You don't have to be out there 3 weeks in a row, but you have to examine your own life and figure out what's going to be best for you.
Yeah, and I mean, it depending on your weather and everything. Like down here in South Louisiana, it's hard to use the Formic, especially, midsummer.
For the heat.
Yeah.
So as far as like the oxalic acid,
that has a lot to do with it as well. But what I find, more than anything, is people just aren't doing it. But they're not doing it because they've got a to-do list. We got to go out of town this weekend. Whatever it is, they ignore it, or they skip a week or two, and then they'll go back and they'll say, okay, I'm just going to do it this week. You got to be consistent with it if you're going to do it. And then I had a guy come in today and says, hey, do you sell liquid Formic? And I'm like, no. He said, well, a lot of commercial beekeepers in England use this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you're not England.
And well, England can't use the oxalic acid either.
Yeah, no, that's right.
So what I do is after the honey season, I hit them the 3 weeks in a row, but then I do it once a month until the spring.
Yeah, that's smart. I
As far as
think that's
my
a smart thing to
oxalic,
do.
I do it every 5 days for 5 times, so basically 25 days.
Lee, have you
Yeah.
ever used Formic?
No. I
personally think Formic Pro is a good product. I like it.
Is it cheaper than Apivor or more expensive?
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I've not been paying attention to that very much recently. You can go on my website and check it out and see what the price is for it if you're using Apivor.
I keep your website on speed dial over here.
Have you ever used Formic Pro, Bob, or not?
I haven't. No, just because I bought the $500 vaporizer.
Right. No,
I started out with that. So Formic Pro on your website is $70 for 2 doses.
No, that
Not
must be for a bigger pack. That's probably for a big pack.
Oh, it might be a big pack. Let me see.
That'd be a little expensive.
Oh, that was a 10 treatment pack. The 2 treatment pack is $18.95.
Yeah.
The 10 treatment pack is $70, and
it's like a gel pad that you put on your hive. I like it. I've used it. I've had pretty good success with it.
Is it? I've seen Cayman Reynolds using something like that where you peel off the top and it's in a little tray.
Yeah, that's right. No, this one's not a tray.
Right.
This is actually I don't really. It's like a cellulose type material that's been impregnated with gel Formic. And
is it something you scoop out and put like on a napkin or something?
Nope, not at all. That's it right there. And then you would just take the pads out and pad out and put it down there, and you can leave it on for a certain amount of time. But again, it's temperature sensitive, so you gotta use it when the temperatures are certain. I think that's the way it is with anything, really. You should be careful.
What is the one that they scoop out of a bucket and they put it on a little pad on the top of the hive?
I think that's ApiGuard.
Oh, okay.
ApiGuard. There's so many of these things out, man. There's so many of these things out. Really, the best thing you could possibly do before you treat is test. And most people don't. Most people just treat. Well, if I've got bees, I've got mites. That's just not true. I've had bees that were more hygienic than other colonies, and you want to identify those. If you really want to beekeep, then you should do a mite wash. That is the most. In my humble opinion, of course, every beekeeper's got their own opinion. But I've asked a lot of the state representatives, state apiarists, what is the best way to test, and they'll tell you mite wash. Wash the mites in alcohol. And so we've got these double mite wash jars that are perfect for that. And you should. If you've got 50, 80 hives, you're not going to get on test every hive more than likely, but you should test some of them and see what's going on. If the loss rate right now is 50%, 40 to 50% of colonies, managed colonies in America being lost because of varroa mite, you can't just keep treating thinking that you're solving the problem. You're not solving. You're putting medicine. You put a Band-Aid on it. Is what you're doing. What you want to do is identify those bees that you feel are more hygienic, and you want to start breeding queens from them, and and do what you need. What's this? I was Formic Pro.
He's up in New York.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So you gotta test your hives. If you really want to beekeep properly, test your hives for this problem, and don't just treat prophylactically, because what happens if you got a colony that has no mites and they're more hygienic, and you put that chemical in there. Is that natural? No, it's not natural. It's not natural to put that much format or that much oxalic into a hive because that doesn't happen in nature.
Right.
All right. So why are we doing that if it's not needed? You know, there are no, and I go through this litany of things whenever I teach class. The first thing I say is, you know, bees don't need you. Leave
Right.
them alone. You know, if I know you're a new beekeeper, you're going to pop it open and look every day. You're going to go out there. You're going to suit up and armor up, and you're going to go out there and pop your hive to see what the bees are doing. I get that. Get that out of your system. You know, do it. Get it out of your system, and then leave them alone. Let them do their thing, and that's the best thing you can do. And then if you perceive that there might be mites on them, do a mite wash. You're not losing anything. It's obvious. You know, doing that.
Right.
You're going to be gaining a lot of information. You know, and I just don't like treating prophylactically. I'm just not that guy. I probably follow more along the lines of Michael Bush's information. You know, I love his information. I think he's no nonsense, you know, grounded, based in red pilled. I mean, that's all I can say. Based in red pilled.
Right. That's the with the first year, back to what you're saying about getting in the colonies. I got my bees. I'd been watching YouTube videos for a couple years. I finally got my bees.
You were so excited. You were through the roof, man.
Yep. And you're checking them, and you're not helping anything. All you can do is mess it up.
Yeah, I did it. I did the same thing. I'd suit up, armor up, go out there in my hives and just mess with them and look at them. And I'd take a chair out there and sit and watch them for an hour or two with my kids. And, you know, I did all that. And then it became so much of an addiction. I started a beekeeping supply store. That's where you go with it. I mean, it's a full blown addiction now. So
I've thought about it. I just haven't pulled the trigger on that aspect of it.
everybody that walks into the store and tells me they're new beekeepers, I'll shake their hand and say, "Welcome to the addiction."
Yep.
Get ready to spend some money because it ain't cheap. You know, I think the only more expensive hobby that I got into for a while was flying remote control airplanes. That's expensive.
Especially when you crash it and have to rebuild it.
Oh yeah, all the time. And the radios and the servos and their motors and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say I probably buy 95% of my stuff through you.
Well, thank you, Bob.
And the other 5% is because you didn't have it, like the equipment, you know.
Well, if I don't have something, let me know, man, because I love bringing stuff in. So I just I'd like to have a little bit bigger store. You know, we have made more room by putting the suits in that middle storage room. You know, if you guys haven't seen our store, we've had a little bit more room. I think our total store size is probably about 1,700 square feet, 1,500 square feet. It's not gigantic, but we do have a lot of product in there. Typically, I walked in there a couple times. It looked pretty sparse. I'm like,
it was like that. It was like that this morning.
What the freak is going on here? And we just been blowing through stuff. You know, we just been blowing through it. You know, normally those big industrial racks we've got in the back are full. Last week I saw them fill the shelves up. Walked in there today, two-thirds of it was gone, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, a lot of times Abby will say, "Well, I've got some more." I said, "The website says you got this many." And I don't see them over. And he's like, "Well, let me call the warehouse." And the warehouse, that's what I said, "I'll just buy them, and then I'll just stop by the warehouse and pick them up on the way home."
Warehouse. I might as well just
What's the
open up.
website?
Blythewoodbeecompany.com. BLYTH. It's BlythewoodBeeCompany.com.
I just dropped the link in the chat.
Yeah, so we try to, we the one thing that I try to do more than anything, and it's been difficult recently because we have run out of some things that have been difficult to get, but we try to ship everything that we sell out immediately.
Right.
Within a day. If it comes in on the Monday, typically Tuesday it's out. You're not going to have long delays from us normally because we try to keep what we need. But with the supply chain issues for some of our vendors, it has been hard. And then we run into the problem with, like I said, those 2 links, linking to Amazon and eBay, and also linking to from our POS to our website not being proper. It messes our inventory up. And so that's been an issue. But, like I said, we're on that right now. And we're going to have that solved within the next 3 weeks. And everything should be proper.
I think the biggest problem I have is, and it's a personal problem where I'm not I am kind of an impulse buyer, but other than that, I just like to go get stuff, so.
Yeah, you like to see it. Like you're one of those people like feel it, touch it, see it, smell it. There's a lot of people like that. Eugene asked a question. I don't have a catalog, Eugene. We've considered it, but we're in the electronic age now, and the majority of people, it would cost me to have a full-blown, full-color catalog of all of our products. It would probably cost me about $6,000 to $8,000 just to get them printed. And then you're talking, and that's not including the building of the catalog. And then you're talking about mailing them out to all the subscribers or whatever it is. You get into the $15,000 to $20,000 range, and it's just not valuable. I would much rather give you more of a discount on your products and you buy them electronically than to have to waste money like that on catalogs. And people are just moving away from it.
Yeah, I've seen there are a couple people that they ask you, do you want a catalog, and then it's downloadable PDF. It's
that's Blue Sky does that. Blue Sky did that at one time. I don't know if they do that anymore, and we thought about doing that as well. But again, websites are so friendly, user friendly now, that when you are looking for something, because beekeeping websites are destinations, not Main Street, type websites. You're going to type into the search bar what you're looking for, and it's going to pop up, or it's not going to find it. So
let me see. Dennis said, you need some more rapid round feeders. Been trying to get them.
Yeah,
also,
those are imported from China, and the supply chain issues that we had when COVID hit, it's caused us a lot of issues. We do have some coming in. But I need to order a whole tractor trailer load of the things, because that's how fast we go down through them. But I'll be honest, I don't necessarily hate those feeders, but I truly like Ceracell. I think Ceracell is some of the best.
Now, see, I don't like the Ceracell. I've tried them. Well, I haven't tried the Rapid Round, so I can't compare it. But the Ceracells that I have, just if you put too much feed in them, then you're trying to take off an open top feeder that's sloshing around in there. The one for the nuke, why for God's sake didn't they do a recess where the little plastic trays sit down in there?
I've talked to them about that, about doing something like that, and they can do that, but I haven't had too many people that have complained about that or had problems with it.
My thing is, when I put either a migratory cover on it or any other cover, then bees from the outside can get in through the top, and it kind of almost like a
migratory lid might do something like that. But if you have a problem like that, I would say put your inner cover over the top of the feeder, and then put your telescoping lid down.
You know what?
And that should stop that.
If your syrup is sloshing around when you're going in your bees, you know what that means, huh? You're going in your bees too often. You're not giving them time to drink the syrup.
Well, right now I'm not even putting feed on them right now for sure. Let them do their thing.
How about your colonies that you're trying to grow? You're not feeding them? No.
Nope. Feast or famine. Go work, ladies. Let's get to work. We need honey. Let's go.
I went and checked all my new nukes today, and they just packing in the nectar, drawing out comb on the new foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be ready for supers next weekend.
I
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say I even sent some of that Acorn plastic frames down there to Cajun to try out. So, how you liking those so far? Are they drawing them out?
Oh yeah, they've just about all drawn them out. So I had ordered some more. And I just got them in, and I'm taking my 3-framers and increasing to some nukes, and I've been putting the ones I got in there.
So looking at the feed, the chat feed, DC and his B said he didn't like web-based stores. Very few work well. I'd be curious. I'd love to know. I'd love to know how old. DC, how old are you, man? That's the question. I asked that for data for demographic. Younger kids like websites. Older people don't like them because they can become bulky. And there are some websites I definitely can understand that are slow because some of the images and things like that are bulky and they're not very quick. But we do everything we can do, of course, to keep product in stock. 51. Well, I'm 58. So I kind of feel you. I understand that there is a demographic out there that likes the catalogs, but I just don't think the value's there. And like I said, I would much rather DC save you money on your your web hives and stuff like that than to charge more because I had to spend $10,000-$15,000 on a catalog. And maybe it would maybe I'd do better with that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know the only catalogs I don't like looking at online is if you're on your phone, because it's hard to really see certain people's catalogs on their phone with their imagery and stuff. Now on a laptop, I can search all day.
Yeah.
But on a phone, I rather not. I always wait if I'm working. Wait till I get home to look something up on a website because I'd rather use my laptop than do something on my phone.
Yeah.
Right.
DC says that many online stores sell product online that isn't in stock. Yeah, that does happen. I can definitely, we talked about that with inventory problems between point of sale systems inside the store syncing with the online store and eBay and Amazon and all that stuff. We definitely have had problems with that, but we're actively trying to fix that kind of a problem. I think it's that way with a lot of different stores. I think online stores have that issue. I think it's a problem unless you have a major team like Man Lake has that are always on it constantly.
So unless you have a team working on it, or are you really selling from one location online? If you selling, like you say, Google, I mean, you selling out of your store, you selling on Amazon, it's hard to sync everything together in one.
Well, that's what Shopify is going to do for us. I mean, we had the synchronization. We started the website, I want to say 7 years ago, and some of the technology that's available now was not available back then. And so we've been using some of the same technology, but it just wasn't what we needed. So hopefully the Shopify transition will, when we're going to a Shopify Pro type transition, hopefully it's gonna keep all of our inventory synced properly across all channels, all merchant channels, eBay, Amazon, and any other lines that we get into. But trust me, Amazon and eBay give you enough that it can keep 3 or 4 employees busy. Yeah. So going too much bigger. I mean, we have a total of 10, 11 employees for a small company. I mean, we're a small company. We're not a big company by any means. I think we did I think we grossed last year 1.2 million in sales, which out of our little store that we've got is pretty doggone good. But I definitely want to take it to the next level. But I want to be an innovator, not just a me too. Kind of a business. That's not what I want.
Well, any of the big businesses started as a little business. I mean, everybody
that's right.
somewhere and they just build their way up.
Yeah.
So Charlie, Sawmill Charlie just came on. He's in Baltimore, and we've got Scott Derrick here with Blakewood Bee Company, Charlie. So if you're got any questions,
I'm nobody.
Well, Charlie's over. How many bee clubs are you a member of?
I guess about 5.
And you're over one of them, right?
Yeah, I am the president of one of them. Yeah.
So
yeah,
we were just talking to Scott about things that are going on in the supply chain, and he created Swarm Commander and Honey Be Gone, and I always forget is it Beekeeper's Choice?
It's Beekeeper's Choice.
The supplement.
Yeah, the supplement.
Let me see.
Let's see, Honey Be Gone. Isn't that
it's like honey robber or
honey bee.
It's a repellent. It's a repellent. We get we sell a lot to a lot of removal guys. We do sell a lot to guys who use fume boards to drive bees out of their hives.
Yeah,
I use fume boards.
Yeah, and they're really good. I personally believe our product's better than any of the other ones that are out there on the market, of course. But a lot of commercial guys are using Beco that is just nasty. I think it's butyric acid, I think is what it is. But I've used it before, and especially when I was doing removals from things like tree cavities and things of that nature. I was trying to drive the bees out without having to go up there and get cut the tree or open it up to get the comb out. And what I found is that it disoriented the bees. I found a lot of bees that were just disoriented, not necessarily because they've been driven out of their colony, but because of the veracity of the chemical. I mean, it's just, have you guys ever used Beco? Any of you guys?
I haven't used it.
Butyric acid? Yeah, it's for sale. Man Lake has it. Butyric acid. It is just nasty stuff. It's actually, because I was in the flavor industry, it is one of the raw materials that is utilized in artificial cheese flavor. And that's what it smells like. It smells
It says that Beco is smelly to both the beekeepers and bees. It's right on their ad.
Oh, bro, trust me. If you ever use that stuff in your bee yard to drive bees out of your colony all day long, and you go back into your house, your wife will kick your butt back out and make you strip down right on the porch because you're not bringing that stuff inside. That's how bad it is. But it just to me, it just disorients bees, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't want to put any kind of a chemical like that is that strong where it's gonna. I mean, it's really, really strong.
Well, the Honey Be Gone, I just spray it on the fume board and pop it on top, and then let it sit for a few minutes, and they're gone out of it. And I just take the whole thing off and then move it down.
Yeah, one of the things that I try to encourage people to do with their fume boards is scuff that metal. If you're using a telescoping lid type fume board, which we sell in our store, please scuff up that metal and then paint it black. And let that fume board sit out in the sun for a little bit before you use it.
To heat it up.
It's going to heat that metal up, which is going to help the Honey Be Gone vaporize off a lot better. And it's going to drive the bees out much better. Don't saturate the fume board. Don't saturate your fume board to the point to where it's dripping, because you definitely don't want to get that on the bees. I had a guy that thought he could just spray Honey Be Gone on his super to drive his bees out. I mean, literally sprayed it on the bees. And then complained to me that his bees died. And wanted to know why. I've got all kinds of stories like that. You guys just don't know.
Because you're not using it by the directions.
Exactly. I said, did you read the directions? But don't saturate. All you need is 2 or 3, maybe 4 mists on it. And then after it sits in the sun for a minute, put it on there, and it'll drive your bees out pretty well.
That's the exact fume board I've got right there. 10 frames.
It's a good product. I mean, it is good for sure. I think I definitely use it when I'm gathering honey, without a shadow of a doubt. Some people will, use brushes and stuff like that. I ain't doing that. It's funny because I'd never use a brush on my bees personally. I just shake the frame and shake them off if I want to get them off, or something like that. I never use a bee brush.
Silver Gorilla said he spilled some Bigo in his van.
Oh God, I bet, no doubt, that's horrible. I mean, if you really want to, if not that I would ever advocate, permanently damaging someone's interior or interior car, but if you ever had an ex that you wanted to really tick off, cut a hole in that stuff and squirt it inside the car, boy, they'd never get it out. I mean, it would never come out. It just never would come out. You'd have to have some ionizer in there or something that would stay in there for a week to try to get the smell out of there.
Would it work by your buddy's deer stand to keep him from killing your deer?
It would. Oh yeah, it would. It's nasty stuff. If you ever get a chance to smell butyric acid, smell it. It's some nasty stuff. Nasty.
Well, I actually think honeybee gone. It smells kind of pleasant. Actually, to me, it just smells like almonds.
Oh yeah. You want to see? It's funny. The super lure that we make, the Swarm Commander super lure. Talking about good fragrances. When I created the Swarm Commander super lure, the company that actually it's actually a patented polymer compound that they actually impregnate Swarm Commander into, and it releases it over a certain amount of time. And when they started manufacturing the stuff, the women in the laboratory or the women in the facility loved it. And so this woman, because it's got the little string on it, the little stretch elastic, she takes and hangs it from her mirror in her car and uses it as an air freshener.
Nice.
For her car. And I said, look, I cannot be, responsible if you leave your windows open one day and you come back and there's a swarm hanging from your rear view mirror.
That's I didn't know what it was made out of. I thought it was actually made from beeswax and it was impregnated with.
No, it's a polymer. It's a patented polymer process that this guy from Harvard University came up with. And
Well,
I contacted the company. Because I tried to innovate with Swarm Commander, not just to have one type of product. I wanted multiple.
Well, what's the duration on that? What's the lifespan?
90 days. 90 days.
How about the little vials that they sell at? I think it's maybe Man Lake.
Yeah, crush vials. They'll last from 7 to 14 days typically, depending on the weather.
These are not.
Oh, you're talking about the little vials. You're talking about the little plastic vials. Plastic vials? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And it has a little cap, but there's nothing to crush. There's just a liquid inside.
Yeah, it's lemongrass oil. It's lemongrass in there, and they.
I mean, how does it just seep through the plastic?
That's what they say. They say it seeps through. That it's a permeable plastic that it seeps through. But I don't talk companies down at all. I don't, because Man Lake is a good company. They've built an empire basically, and they sell my product. So, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, but those just didn't work for me. And that's why I innovated with Swarm Commander, because there was nothing out there that made sense to me. And I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I could create something that was better than anything that was on the market, because the laboratory that I have behind me is powerful. They've got incredible equipment, and they could help me, significantly, but it took time to get it done for sure. And that's why, and it's expensive. I mean, that drum that you saw sitting in there.
Yeah, we did the math on it.
you would not believe what the cost on that drum was.
We did the retail math on it. It was 55-gallon drum. We broke it down by the ounce, and Lee did the calculation on how much estimated a 55-gallon drum would retail.
I think it was 140 or 150 something thousand.
And we'll go through quite a few of those during the year. And honeybee gone too. We can't. Oh man, I need to start bringing that in totes. Is what I need to start doing.
Well, if we work something out for the Hive Life,
let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Conference, then we'll take. I can take all them products up there and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I've got I mean, I can get you what you need to take up there. Is this like when you say Hive Life, is this like a national convention or
It
what?
is now supposedly the biggest convention that came in Reynolds. I don't know if you follow him on YouTube.
I've been out of it for a while simply because of my health. But
well, he's got I don't know.
The first year he had 300-400 people. Last year or this year he ended up with over 900, and they're estimating 1,300 to 1,500 next year.
Yeah,
he had 250 people. The first one he had. The first one he had with 3 vendors. And this year it was 900 people with 35 vendors.
That's crazy.
So what they did last year and they're trying to do this year is let people go on the websites and pre-order stuff, and then they come and pick it up from your booth.
All of that there. Yeah, that's been done a lot through these different conferences, and I don't go to a lot of those conferences. And I've had people say, "Well, why doesn't Blythewood Bee Company show up and sell their wares?" I'll be honest with you guys. I'm dead honest with you. This is the way that I feel about that, and I know I'm probably passing money up. I get it. But I don't want to go up there and fight 5, 6 other vendors up there to sell a box or to sell. I think the pre-order stuff is great. I mean, that's wonderful. Maybe that's the key to it. But I'm not going to go up there and fight these guys to, I've when I was going to some of these shows, knowing some of the owners of the companies and, some of the guys who were managing them, we'd all go out to dinner in the evening. And I'd ask them hard questions, how you doing at the show, blah, blah, blah. And many of them didn't do really well. They just didn't do very well. They would do okay. They would, pay for the gas and pay for whatever it was that they needed to drag it up there. But they're dragging a lot of equipment. Some of these companies drag a lot of stuff up there. I think new stuff, new vendors, they're coming out like Lyson, having a display there, or some of the companies like Swarm Commander or whatever, setting up a display there and explaining their products is a good thing. But I'm not going to go there and fight.
Well, I believe he said somebody, one of the other companies, I don't know if it was Man Lake or I think it was Man Lake he was talking about, that they sold like $15,000 in pre-sales.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah,
and then like kind of half-assed showed up late, and there was a bunch of issues with them, like they just really didn't care. So he's kind of on their bad side right now. And actually I just found out he's live, so I'm surprised we still have 31 viewers. So he usually has a few hundred people watch his lives at a time. He's probably got 27,000 subs or more right now. But
he's amazing. Live. He just finished 2 minutes ago.
Oh, did he? So we outlasted him. Booyah! That's right. And we didn't go down in viewers, so that's good. But the thing is, what I'm finding, even with YouTubers, is that the bigger they're getting, the less they're actually doing beekeeping videos. It's always something else, and that's kind of, we're trying to, knock on wood, stay true to the actual craft. That's why we have people from all over, and it doesn't matter if you've got one colony or 1,000 colonies. We had Ian Stepler on here. He's got 1,600 colonies up in Canada, and anybody. I mean, if you're interested in beekeeping, that's what we want to do. Try to help people out and expand their channels and just get people started, And if we can answer questions, it's good.
Let's do a giveaway.
Okay, you want to do it right now? What are you giving away?
What do people want?
What do you guys want? You heard the man. Oh, they're going to go for the most expensive thing, man. You know that. Let's see.
Thanks, Steve. Good talking with you.
Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys want for free? I just put it in the chat. We'll see, because we're actually streaming to 2 channels
What
right
are they?
now.
What are they gonna need to do in order to be able to win?
Gosh, you're putting me on the spot.
I mean,
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be exactly today. I mean, you could. I mean, come up with something. Come up with. I mean, you want to increase your viewership.
Yeah.
You want to increase your subscribers. The way you do that, I guess, is by, having people comment, having people, share
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's what I would do. Have them comment on your channel, on you and Lee's channel.
Comment what you'd like to see given away down in Bob's comment section, down in Walker B Ranch. What you'd like to see, and then share the video, share it out.
Yeah, share for sure. That helps.
Yeah.
We got
Lee, why don't you do a spin?
Y'all want to do a spin tonight, or y'all want to do a video, get some comments in on it, then I'll put everybody's name on the wheel. And
Yeah, do it that way.
Yeah,
they have software for that, don't they? Software.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lee does it. Lee does it a lot.
Silver Gorilla wants a forklift. Actually, I've got a forklift that I want to sell. Probably. What size forklift? Actually, I could probably make that happen, Silver Gorilla, but it'd probably be like a Tonka forklift, and I'm not sure that would help you out very much.
How about a 48 frame extractor?
48 frame extractor. I gave away a ProVap, so I mean, I'm not scared to give stuff away.
Yeah.
But it has to be able to benefit the channel, especially if we're talking about doing the.
Most people are saying Swarm Commander. Frank said a smoker.
Okay.
And let me see. I think I saw Foundation. Vaporizer.
Yeah, I'm almost out of my Swarm Commander.
All right.
What about what is it? Honeybee Gone, is it that you sell, Scott?
Yep.
I mean, I was at High Life, and I picked up at Fisher's Be Quick or whatever it's called.
I'm sorry. No, it's good. Our product is.
I had some of that other stuff that stinks, and that's bad. I'll tell you.
You graduated from that pretty quickly.
Well, I had some Fisher, whatever it was, there one time. I tried that, and I ran out of it, and I happened to get what I could get at the time. But
well, how about this? I mean, I don't want to ask for too much. How about a Honeybee Gone and a Swarm Commander? Is that too much?
Let's put together a couple packages. Let's do like 5 prize packs, but it's going to have people are going to have to jump through some hoops to help the channel in order to be able to get it. I don't mind giving away Swarm Commander, Honeybee Gone, a smoker, a fume board with Honeybee Gone. I see that. Bobby B said a fume board with Honeybee Gone. I don't have a problem doing any of that, but it has to benefit. Anytime I ever do anything, I have to give away. It has to benefit something. And you're gonna talk about my product and talk about us, of course. If I could be a sponsor, I'll be a sponsor. Whatever needs to be done, but because I want to build my business too, but I want people to, buy product from us. That's basically what I want. So I don't have any kind of problem doing this project that you were talking about, but also doing a giveaway. So Swarm Commander, I have no problem getting away Swarm Commander.
All right. Well,
200 bottles Swarm Commander, but I'd like to do some packs. I mean, if you want Swarm Commander, how about Swarm Commander and a pulpwood swarm trap?
Oh, I saw those new swarm troopers you had in there today.
Oh, you talking about? It's not Swarm Trooper. What's the name of that thing? It's brand new. Refugee. No,
It's the gray one, and it's got the Swarm Trooper.
That's the modified one. They just came up with a modified one. Yeah, we can give away Swarm Trooper and a bottle of Swarm Commander. Yeah, that's the pulpwood swarm trap right there.
The Swarm Trooper may not even be on the website yet.
It is.
Oh, is it?
It is. I'm bringing it up right here.
That's the old style. That's the old style. I don't think we've got the picture of the new style up.
The new one is a 6-frame.
That's the one that Dirt Rooster just made a video of.
Yeah, it's a good product. It's a good product. That's Refubees, and we've got one other that we don't have up on the web yet. It's a brand new one that the guy's using. I donated like 40 1-ounce bottles of Swarm Commander to him to put in his swarm traps. Swarm are the Swarm Trooper. They also use Swarm Commander.
What's the shelf life on Swarm Commander?
Well, I'd say about 2 years, as long as you keep it in a temperature-controlled environment, and you don't leave it in your truck up on the dash, in 130-degree heat.
Well,
it'll last.
I think it's longer than that because I bought mine, and like I said, I'm down at the bottom, but mine's 4 years old, and I just checked my swarm traps today, and I have 2 swarms caught so far right now out of 3.
Yeah, it'll definitely last longer depending. Where do you live?
Louisiana.
Central Louisiana.
Okay, yeah. So you live in the heat down there. Yeah, it'll definitely last longer. I like hearing that. Thank you for reporting that. That's good information. That's real good information. So we know that it'll at least last 4 years, kept in a temperature controlled environment. You didn't leave it in your truck or anything or car or
no,
anything.
it's in the refrigerator.
Yep. See, that'll extend it even longer. You don't have to do that, but you can do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
I don't tell people to do that because I don't want them to cause some kind of a problem, and the wife goes in there and it's
this is one that I have outside, and it's for like my seeds and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's
really
not
good.
It doesn't have any food in it. It's just for garden supplies and stuff like that I use to get the seeds cold before I plant them and stuff.
Gotcha.
So
let's do this. When do you want to give this away? I mean, I don't want to give them away like right now because I want it to benefit the channel, and I want you to build up some viewership. So why don't we give away? I'd say let's do 5 kits.
Okay.
And let's do. I'm just talking out loud now. How about a beer, 6-pack of beer? Yeah. So we'll give away. So we'll give a 2-ounce bottle of Swarm Commander, 16-ounce bottle of Honeybee Gone. I'll put in a feeding stimulant, and we'll do a wood pulp swarm trap. And we'll put all that inside the wood pulp swarm trap and ship it. And we'll do 5 of those kits.
Oh, shoot. That's awesome. I was thinking you're talking about each one of those items is a giveaway.
Well, what I'm saying is you could give one away, like one away per week or whatever it is but people have to.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
That's
people
awesome.
Have to share, and people have to share like, because likes matter. Share, like, and comment.
And you got to do that in the actual chat on the bottom, not the live chat.
Do it in the comment section, not in the chat area. And
yeah, I would do one a week. That way you'd have 5 shows with, that would help you boost your channel.
Whatever you guys decide to do, I'll provide the kits, and then you get me the addresses and the names of the people who win them, and then I'll ship it.
Oh, well, that's even better. I don't have to go to the post office.
Well, maybe I'll put the tag on it, and you can come pick it up and take it to the post office. How about that?
All right, yeah, we'll work that out, and then I'll do a live video showing me take it to the post office.
That sounds good. Yeah.
All right,
whatever works. I mean, whatever works.
So 5 kits with Swarm Commander, Honeybee Gone, a feeding stimulant,
Beekeeper's choice,
and the swarm trap.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate that for sure, Scott.
Yeah,
you bet. Not a problem. I like doing that kind of stuff.
And we'll get that pumped out there. and we'll start that. How about we start doing that? Here's what we'll do. Do that comment and share and everything in this week, and we'll give it away on next week. And then,
That's right.
And then the following week, we'll do it for the comments on Tuesday. We'll start it. We should start it Tuesday night. Tuesday night is our normal night. So
leave a comment on this one, and then we can get a list of names, and I'll put them on the wheel for Tuesday night's live chat.
And then we'll do the first giveaway, and then every Tuesday for the next 4 weeks after that, we'll take the previous weeks.
Yeah, and just you send me the information or get it to Abby,
Okay.
Bob, and because sometimes I'm out of pocket, but just get it to her. Tell her what we agreed on, and she'll get it done.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna each make like a little video showing.
No, we're gonna do it on the show. So maybe we'll make a combined video and share it on both of our channels.
Yeah.
What happened to the 6-pack?
Right.
Bob, you just send me a list or whatever of the names that comment on your stream. I'll get the ones on my stream, and we'll put them together in the wheel.
Right. And if you want to double it up, you'll do it on both channels, so you get twice as many entries.
Well, I think that should be what happens. I think you should make that mandatory. Personally, that's my personal opinion.
That sounds good. Make sure you set up.
I mean, you want both channels to grow, and if you're posting this video on both channels, then
yeah, we're streaming on both. So definitely make sure you're subscribed, you comment, and share.
Yep. Hey, I got to roll, guys. It's great talking with you. Thank you so much for allowing me into your chat. I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. Hey, and seriously, if you're interested in the someone to help you out on the commercial end, you got my phone. You should have my phone number in your phone.
I think we may end up doing that sooner or later.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank
you guys,
Scott.
take care.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
See you, Scott.
So how awesome was that? That was totally unexpected.
Heck
That
yeah.
he was even in the chat, and then he came on, and look at that. We got 5 prize packs. That is awesome.
Where are you going to comment? Because you can't comment now. So is it after you post this as a recording, you mean?
Basically, after the live stream's over, you can go back and then leave a comment under the video like you normally would at just a regular uploaded video.
Okay.
Yeah, because we may not even see the chats in our streams until later. But like hours and hours later, it could be 24 hours for the live stream. But if you go down in the comments, it's there immediately afterwards.
Hey, I got a quick request here. Brad, I need you to do something for me.
What's that?
I need you to say yabba dabba doo. Come on, you got to do it for me. I'm sorry, Hillbilly, I tried.
I'm surprised that when Cayman went live, we didn't lose like a ton of people. Everybody stayed in. That was good.
Heck, he had 800 and something views on that live.
Well, we'll watch it after.
873.
Yeah, he gets views. I mean, his was a Q&A as well. But he don't bring cool people on for Q&A like we do. Look at we got Cajun and Sawmill Charlie. We're like the John Boy and Billy Big Show of beekeeping.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, you guys let anybody actually can come on.
Well, yeah, you're in. I mean, there you go.
No, you know what I'm saying. I mean, on Cayman, there's no coming on or you can comment on the comment section. That's it.
Right. We try to address some comments and put them
and
on.
It's just like I was on the phone prior to coming on with a friend of mine, and she said she stopped watching like the stream team, because I don't know, she didn't get anything out of it as far as she was concerned.
Well, we try to keep it, day to day. If you've got something that you did today, then we'll talk about what's going on in your neck of the woods and what you did in your yard, And Steve says he is boring. You guys are cool.
Hey, Brad, do you have one of these?
No, I have something similar, but without the little magnet.
About to say, what's that little magic word I needed you to say? And you might get one of these in the mail.
So who's Robert D. Radford? Lamar? Charlie?
Oh, Rayford, Robert D. Rayford. You've never heard of the John Boy and Billy Big Show?
No.
It's a syndicated radio show that is on mostly like classic rock stations.
Okay.
And they just have a whole cast of people. And Robert D. Rayford is the older guy that kind of he's more of the serious, you know, he's got a deep voice, more serious, and but yeah, they got a whole cast of characters on there. They're pretty funny. I think they're still around. I don't know if I think Rayford, I'm not sure if Rayford's still around. And if who's the guy that he always would come on and be really like cynical on the show? That might have been Rayford.
Is this some type of a talk show, or is this
It's a radio show, like a morning show where they do a lot of talking and then they play the occasional music in between. But yeah,
right?
I don't know if are they still? No, I got to Google them. See, you guys.
Yeah, that's what Salty was asking. Were they still around?
Let me see. Big Show. Everything's going syndicated. The Big Show. I know they do sauce and stuff down here. Like, they're on iHeart apparently, which is all right. So they do have a website. It's called thebigshow.com. And I guess you could stream them. Let me see. Wow, that's kind of a... Oh, that ain't the thing I just copied. Let me see. What happened? What happened here? Let's see if this brings them up. There you go, thebigshow.com. But yeah, it's comical. But yeah, I guess they still are on somewhere. They're doing a podcast too. But yeah, it's just a little funny radio show.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to run here for a few minutes. I gotta run to a store for the old lady, but I will be back.
Running to the store?
Yeah, it's like 3/4 of a mile down the road.
Well, you know, it's 10:30 at night here, and we've been going 2.5 hours already. So I'm actually all right with calling it. Unless you guys just got some beekeeping stuff you want to talk about.
Only thing I'll throw out there is what we was talking about that giveaway a minute ago, commenting on both channels. Just make sure you sub to both channels, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, and we'll get your name.
Oh man, we got a sub to yours too, Lee.
Darn it, I guess. Hey, only temporarily.
Yeah, only till after the 5 giveaways. So that's. But see now, who am I, John Boy, or am I Billy? Who's Lee?
Now wait a minute. Now they gotta subscribe to me and Kate and
yeah.
Brad.
We was on air whenever he decided to give this.
I need all the subs I could get.
Drycut was like, "Can we unsub after?"
Hey, Eugene, Cayman just went off live a few minutes ago.
So if you're just coming in, we had the owner of Blythewood Bee Company, the creator of Swarm Commander, Honeybee Gone, and Beekeeper's Choice feeding stimulant. And he has given us 5 prize packs to give away. Each prize pack is 2 ounces of Swarm Commander, 16 ounces of Honeybee Gone, a bottle of the feeding supplement, and a swarm trap. It was the wood pulp swarm trap, right? So you got a picture of the wood pulp swarm trap?
I just took it off. Give me just a second. I'll have it back.
That supercomputer's going to work.
Yeah, Well, you know what? We didn't. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's limited to the U.S. We didn't stipulate that, so I guess we got to open it up. If we got to pay extra shipping, I guess I'm in for paying the extra shipping. You'll have to pay the duties on it. So, what did he say? I'll stay subbed if I win. Picky promise. So yeah. I mean, he's a disabled vet. He's local to me, so it makes it easy for me to go pick it up. And his prices on boxes they're reasonable. Now I don't know with the shipping, you know, what that amounts, what that'll come up to, but you know, the boxes are like, they're inexpensive for me. I mean, $17.95, I think is what they had, the 10 frame deeps on there. And
that's pretty cheap.
Is that what grade's that?
Select.
Really?
And then they'll put them together for like two more bucks. Maybe they went up, guys. Oh, that's assembled? Yeah, they might have went up a little bit since I bought mine, which, you know, everything's going up with the shipping. So I mean, I understand. Of the same Swarm Commander Super Lure, and I keep my traps up all year in Middle Georgia. Nice. Welcome to the chat, A708 MKW. First time I've seen you, but we appreciate you. So to get the entered into the giveaway, after the live stream, you'll have to go and leave a comment and share the video and subscribe to or be subscribed to Kodiak Farms and Walker Bee Ranch. And let me see. Keep up informed, Bob, on when I get the rainforest boxes. Yeah, that'll be So I've got his number, his personal cell number from when I was working at iHeart selling advertising, and I frequent their shop all the time. You heard, he knows. He got the word that I could talk in the store.
Just a little bit.
But I also have sold stuff in his store to other people while they're there buying stuff. You know, I'm like, okay, if you're going to buy that, then you might want to think about this, you know, and make them some extra money, baby. That's what we do. So, but you got to run to the store, Lee.
Yeah, they close in 17 minutes.
All right. So hey guys, let's go ahead and, we can go ahead and call it for the night, guys. And
all right, well, good night, fellas.
And we're still working on the co-op. And he said he was interested in entertaining the co-op pricing, so that's good. No, I can't talk. But anyway, guys, we appreciate you. If you haven't noticed, I've got a join button on my screen. So I do have a members area that I'm trying to develop. If you guys are interested, that's fine. If you're not interested, that's fine. Texas, actually, Johnny Walker, the Tennessee beekeeper, he's my first member, and I appreciate him. So thank you. And Eugene, thank you for your service, brother.
For your service. My dad was Vietnam, 101st Airborne.
My dad was in the 173rd Airborne in Vietnam, and I'm a veteran as well. So we appreciate you guys. Please come back. We'll be live Tuesday night for sure, and usually Sunday night. But this Sunday night, I might be on another channel because I'm working with the peanut butter company, who's also going to be on that channel to try to sell honey to the peanut butter company, which will be part of the co-op. So I'm trying to negotiate for us, guys, and we'll get it ironed out. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming by, and we'll see you next live stream.
Yeah, don't forget to sub and leave comments. Get your name entered in that drawing.
And don't forget to share the video. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.